What's up, Nintendogs? Welcome back to another brand new episode of Yeah, I've Played, the only video game show. I'm Andrew Taylor, and I'm joined by two of my favorite gamers of all time. Please introduce yourselves at the same time, confusingly.
I'm Jordan Hill.
Very good. And today we're going to talk about more Heavy Rain in our third installment, I believe, of the... No, my goodness, it's like the fifth fucking installment of this shit.
You're fucking wrong.
What?
You're botching this opening. You didn't even know it's the fourth episode?
I guess 3 and 5th.
It's our third sit-down. So 4 was neither of those guesses.
Huh?
Yeah,
4 was neither of those guesses. It's our 4th episode.
I know, I said, but I got right around it.
We're not playing horseshoes, man. Do you know what chapter we're on?
We're on chapter 17.
Yes, sir.
That was definitely what you were going to say the whole time.
Well, boy, howdy, I be loving chapter 17.
Here's a special quiz.
You have a quip?
What day is it? No.
Oh, I'm not
Wednesday?
really paying attention. I think that the rain level is 2.0062 inches.
Okay. It is Wednesday. I don't know about
God.
that shit.
I think it's 2.00. If you look it up, look to the footy. If I'm right, I'll shit my pants right here on camera.
The nameless woman is riding up on her motorcycle. We were introduced to her in our previous episode. We saw her. I mean, let's just go ahead
We
and
saw
say it.
We saw
everything.
our fully nude body.
Except the box. We didn't get to see the box.
And the one thing I've noticed, I thought I noticed it when she was sitting down to piss, and then I noticed it again later in the game. Or where her pubic hair might be, she just has like a white untextured
Void?
box around her crotch area.
Like it's a missing texture? Like you
like a missing texture where it's like there should just be like skin color there, but instead it's just it's white. It's like pure. It's like white, untextured, unmodeled, just like white void, like texture missing.
In 2013, you were playing Skyrim in your girlfriend's bedroom, and you punched your Xbox 360 because you were really mad at something that wasn't the game, and then it fucked up a lot of the textures, and then you can never fix it again?
That happened to you?
No.
It was
That's
a really
insane.
specific...
I think a lot of people have punched their Xbox 360s. I know of at least 2, including myself.
I've had mine punched.
Yeah.
By him?
No, he was there, though.
I was there. It's very funny.
He was present.
I've heard this story before. Anyway, no, I noticed it later in the game, and yeah, so you don't. I mean, this is why. I mean, our most successful video of this quarter has been.
Wait, hold on. Are we? Oh, I don't know if we're a minute in. You can't say the F word yet.
We're not monetized.
Well, yeah, not anymore.
And
It's okay. Join our Patreon.
and so I know people are mostly concerned with pussy and boobs and butt.
Pussy boobs, yeah, but
No matter how much you blur
penis
it.
and V, penis and A.
I did notice
P and P,
P and M,
P and M.
S&M.
A to M.
I do mean the album by Metallica. I did notice though on in your Only Fuck 2 review, I got my hands out.
WMAF.
WYD.
What is it? CFNM.
Oh. C&DT. You blurred it out with like the pixel blur, the mosaic, I think is what it's called in technical terms. But on a phone, if you like hold that shit kind of far away from you, the blurring starts to lose its fidelity, and the cracks, so to speak, start showing through.
Yeah, that's true.
So you were just jerking off to the Only Fuck 2 video?
It was hard though. I had to keep my phone like full extended arm.
Were you holding it up with your toes?
Toes, getting a good old leg workout.
It's true, but you
was a full body
you still can't
experience.
really see.
No.
You're gonna see. It's gonna look like Atari 2600 graphics. Yeah, see the things moving, but it's gonna be like,
Well,
6 pixels.
I'm a big fan of Beat 'em and Eat 'em and Custer's Revenge, so...
All right, well, that's good to know.
It really did it for me. I love those boxy pixels. They just really flatter the naked body.
The nameless woman who basically couldn't sleep, got up, took a shower, and then got her throat slit in a dream.
Normal.
Is riding up to the motel on her motorcycle. It's the motel that Ethan's
familiar.
staying at.
A little familiar with this hotel.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
didn't notice that at first.
Crossroads Motel.
You World of Warcraft players know the Crossroads. Oof.
Yes, and Ethan said, that he'll see her at the crossroads.
Meet me at the crossroads. Meet me at the crossroads.
And yeah,
It's a Bone Thugs reference.
All right, last tangent. That song is about Eazy-E dying. It's about grappling with death, and it's about acceptance and like grieving. And it's a song about all this, like, the range of emotions you experience when you lose someone close to you. And I don't know if you guys remember, like, in like the late 90s, early 2000s especially, there was, like, I mean, all the way back into the 80s, but before you were born. You know, after when you guys were kids, there was often on TV, like, oh, get this, like, CD compilation.
Yes.
And one of them was Booties in Motion. And this was one that they used to sell, and I ended up getting a copy of Booties in Motion.
The first volume, first edition.
I think there might only be one.
All right,
It might be a one and done.
need one.
And it's all like, you know, it's like songs like Whoomp There It Is.
Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, yes, that's on there.
Classics.
Daisy Dukes, like those kinds of songs. It's all like Baby Got Back.
Hot fuck jams, pretty much.
Well, they're just like,
or is it like
they're just like
they're booty shaking, just
upbeat,
808s and heartbreaks, you know.
Yeah, it's just like
all right,
just 808 beats and fast paced.
120 BPM.
and the closing track is a fast dance remix of Crossroads, and it's like the whole album up until that point is just like ass, sweaty ass.
And then it's like, I'm gonna miss everybody. I'm gonna miss everybody. I miss my Uncle John.
It's like, what is? It feels so fucking inappropriate.
They're paying homage
The
to
song
the
is like a very like it's kind of a meme, but it is a very like heartfelt song. You know what I mean? About, like you said, grappling with losing a loved one. You know what I mean? Like,
and nothing else.
no, that's what it's about.
It's not like and the end of the third verse he like mentions like he's feeling something. You know, and the rest of it's talking about a big sweaty ass in the club.
which is also not unheard of.
No, but it's like no, it happens.
To cap off our
Good
easy
Kid,
talk,
Mad City.
Snoop Dogg's a big streamer. He has been, I guess, for a couple of years, like playing games and stuff. And I've never checked it out, but somebody took a clip of him playing a game and put it over the footage of. I guess Easy had a Snoop Dogg diss in one of his songs, just like a quick bar where he names off like Dre and a couple other guys. Yeah, but they cut it in with some footage of of Snoop like being angry at a game. So like the bit happens and he references him and he just goes fuck. He just like slams. It's like he's really mad. And I thought it was real at first. It was
All
very
he plays
funny.
is like Madden. That's like all he does is play Madden on
That's
that.
hilarious. I love Snoop
And then
Dogg.
he's notorious for forgetting to turn his stream off.
Oh shoot!
So
I've seen
there'll be like a
that.
2-day stream where suddenly you just see him walk back into the room and he's like, "You gotta be fucking." Did I? He like comes up
still
to it
on?
and he's like, "Whoop," and turns it off. It's like it's gold.
God,
Because it's just like clearly a game room he has. So like occasionally someone will just like walk in and then like leave. You know what I mean? But like
it's very funny.
He's at the time of recording this, he was just recently added into Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to shoot Snoop.
Well, you're gonna get shot by Snoop.
They're also adding Godzilla and like King Kong as playable characters.
Godzilla and King Kong are being added into Call of Duty.
Sounds like there's a
They
lot of.
hold guns?
I fucking hope so.
I think I don't know. I just know that they're
Godzilla's
being
gonna have a
added.
hard time wielding any weapon.
He doesn't have much arm
Yeah,
range.
Frazier.
He uses tail.
And okay. And King Kong, I just feel like
Obviously.
in such a toxic, racist environment as Xbox Live, I just feel like adding a monkey,
An ape as a playable character
is not going to bode well.
I don't know what you're talking about. But
You're too pure for this world, Matt. You never played Xbox Live.
it is Wednesday in heavy rain when
dudes.
when the lady pulls up till the to the motel to the motel lobby.
And that's playing at Holiday Inn. And she goes in and meets the coolest fucking guy in the world.
It's a hotel lounge.
Oh,
So she goes in, and I noticed there's a clock with like the day of the week and stuff. It's like one of those clocks that tell like it's like a calendar clock. You ever see
Okay,
those?
yeah.
It says Thursday.
was it wrong?
It's fucking wrong.
God damn. Maybe they're just, you know, maybe they're not on top
They're
of things like the
unorganized,
Crossroads
yeah.
Motel.
100 things wrong with heavy rain.
The graphics are bad. Bing, bing. I fucking hate those videos, dude. Oh my god.
They got your view.
They did.
That's all you need to
those
do.
bastards.
You just need to get the numbers up.
That's all.
Even if
that's
you
all
hate
it's
it.
about.
So she goes into the hotel lobby, motel lobby, I should say.
After the party,
Holiday
And
Inn.
then,
and she goes up to the guy and she says, "Let me get that toot toot."
well, actually,
And he comes out of the bathroom and he says, "I got that beep beep."
He's giving a little toot too.
He is.
He is.
Get a toot too.
Because there's a bathroom directly. Oh, sorry, a water closet directly behind him, like directly behind the desk. This is such a weird scene.
Yeah, he comes out. He's clearly just taking a shit.
She slams on the
Or he
bell.
rubbed one out real quick. Who knows? This guy's a fucking
could've.
weirdo.
Sounds like there's not a lot
This
going
is
on.
a hilarious character. Like his teeth.
He's like,
Talks to his those teeth.
He said, I wrote down that he sounded like Jordan doing a nerd voice. Like, it sounded like what you.
Amazing.
Hey, Rainey.
What a character. I
in the
fucking
way,
love
like,
it.
I love when you're like, he's like, just sign your name into their industry.
Yeah.
Hello there, sweetheart. What can I do for you?
And like she starts doing it, and it just stays on his face
Yeah.
as she's signing it, and he's like,
And he says something like Madison Page, single.
28.
And it's because she needs a single bed, but you know, it's like,
it's just you.
did it say your age?
I think so. Yeah.
Something like that. I think he does say your age. I don't
Why
remember
would you
what it
put
was.
your age on a hotel motel?
You have to be.
Fine,
I know you have to be over 21 to get a hotel room.
Right, you need to show
You need to show
verification,
ID, but
they
like
don't,
I don't know
log
why
your
you're-
age. I don't
Yeah,
believe. At least you
who
don't
knows?
write down I'm 28 years old. Maybe she had a good date of birth. I don't know. Again,
Maybe.
I know this game takes place in America.
Well, her
someone's
age-
America.
Definitely.
Someone's America. And there is more proof definitively later in the game that it takes place in America.
Great.
Okay.
Because there's a shot of a train station later, and you can see where the trains are going to.
Oh yes, yes,
It's like
yes.
it's Penn Station or something. It's just a fucking U.S. train station. It's East Coast U.S. train station.
But then a lot of the architecture and stuff feels West Coast, like specifically the Crossroads Motel and kind of like the shoot, like the pan up to it and stuff, and that kind of area feels very West Coast.
it's a very like
Yeah.
It's
You're super right.
Totally.
Yes.
I feel like they took this motel from a movie. I've seen this
Oh,
motel
yeah.
in lots of movies.
Yeah.
Like that, person goes to Hollywood to make it big, and they end up staying in
Yep.
a sleazy hotel like this. Also, at one point in the game, I don't think you guys have encountered this yet, because I finished the game last night.
Oh my God.
Spoiler. At one point, you go back to Scott Shelby's house, and I just don't know if you noticed this before, because you see his apartment / office.
Yeah, I
I
know.
was confused as to what that. Yeah.
He lives there.
All right.
It seemed like it.
Like Hassan likely lives in his shop.
He just
Yeah,
sleeps
yeah.
on the floor.
The doorknob for his apartment door is dead center.
Of the door.
There's a lock on the side. You unlock it. Doorknob is dead center. And I look it up, and it's like European doorknob something. I'm like, it's a European thing, I guess.
Oh
They
my
didn't even
God.
try.
and it's
Jesus
like that's
Christ.
definitely not.
I've never
I've
seen.
never seen it.
I've never
Absolutely
seen
never
it.
It's
seen
a
that, no.
giant doorknob right in the center.
He also has a placard on the outside of his door to his home / office that does say Scott Shelby, private investigator, which I was torn about because I mean he is a public business, but at the same time I feel like a little bit of discretion.
You
might
have
go a
to
long
be
way.
like. You have to like be. You need a license to be a private investigator. You know what I
Right.
mean? You can't just be like, I'm a PI.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can.
I got
I
you.
But, like,
have,
you can't-
I have gone to places that are in apartment buildings like that where someone has like a weird
like their business
like a
bullshit on there.
practice in there.
All right.
It's
I
like
guess
it's
maybe
like
maybe
the-
just I
It's
haven't
weird.
seen that.
It is a little weird, but
Like if in a local town near us called Redford, there's the tax collector just has a sign outside of the front of his house,
That's so old fashioned.
just with his name on it, and it says that he's the person who collects the taxes.
We do have a lot of houses in our redneck ass area that we live that will just say like on the outside like Marlboros for sale, or like venison. Like come knock
yeah,
on the
that
door,
as well, yeah.
we'll sell you some deer meat that we harvested last night, and that's pretty normal. But yeah, so I guess I was just surprised.
man, not to go on another tangent, but have you
gonna
ever
keep
had
happening.
like venison and there's like a bullet still in it?
I broke down deer as a job. For,
Yeah.
I mean, like eating it. I mean,
oh, never when I'm eating it. No, I've
How?
yeah.
shrapnel or like a full case?
like a pellet.
yeah, because usually it's either buckshot or like the bullets
duh.
will like splinter when they get in there. We did we almost
Oh,
we had the guy who I was working with took an arrowhead to like right here.
oh
His-
no.
because it was still
The deer or this guy?
No, he took it to there because we were just cutting up the deer, and the person didn't tell us that they had left the arrow in the deer, at least the head, you're supposed to dig it out. That's like etiquette, you know what I mean? If you're bow hunting, you dig the arrowhead out for the person who's butchering your deer, because we're using a bandsaw to cut it up, and it hit
my
the bandsaw
God.
and it just shot, and it
Holy shit.
just sliced his forehead, like right above his eyebrow. And it was like he left, he freaked out,
This
he
is
lost
why I
it.
only eat at McDonald's. That shit sucks.
Did you bite down on the buckshot or whatever it was?
I can't remember if it was me or Eve. I just remember it happening not that long ago.
You can't remember whose body you were within at the moment?
No. So, this creep sends you to your room. It's room 201, I believe. And then who's staying up the hall?
It's 207.
No.
No, you're in 201, Ethan's in 207.
Oh, you're
which you just
fucking
ruined what he
right.
was going to.
Shit. Shit. Ow.
Just up the hall in room 207 is Ethan, but he's not in his room.
He's
He
chilling.
made it all the way back after the first trial, but he's like, I can't get into my room. I need help. Like, carry me to my room, basically. Which isn't exactly what he says, but she's like, do you need help? He goes, just help me get to my room. It's like, you couldn't get to your room.
You got all the way up the stairs.
He was pretty damn close.
His room is like the distance of maybe another like distance from me to Matt. Like one more of those.
It's like 10
I think
feet.
he was
know what
just
I mean?
on the balcony in front of his room.
He was
was
one
very
room
close.
over.
Steps.
He was
It was
one
very
room over.
close.
He was in front of like 205.
I actually fucked up.
Did you bring him the wrong way?
No. I came around behind him, so I passed his door on the left, going to my room initially, and that's where I had my first encounter with him. Can you
That's
go
what
to
I
your
did.
room first? Or do you encounter him?
I skipped my room and was like, who the fuck is that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I did the same thing you did. I came up the left
I
side.
never saw her room.
No,
No,
I
I
haven't
never
either,
went
yeah.
inside.
I never went in.
It didn't exist. So you drag his ass in there,
Right, so
and I feel like this really starts to branch off because there was a lot of options that you could do that it seemed like it locked you out of other stuff.
oh, really?
I think so. I feel like I wasn't able to do everything.
What do you think you could have done?
So there's I don't remember if there's any more.
What do you think you could have done?
I like ran out of breath.
You gotta ask me questions like that. It's really gonna start getting the streams flowing, Matt. So I don't know if there's any like conversational beats that I don't remember, but pretty much you have to throw him onto his bed. Ethan's not doing well after that car crash.
He'd just been in a car crash. I think
Yeah.
he says, I believe I have at least 2 broken ribs.
Yeah.
he's like, at least 2 broken ribs.
in his head, he has
She's
a
like,
gash
that looks like a deep cut on your head, which it doesn't, because head wounds bleed a lot.
Yeah.
He would be like, his face would just be blood.
Yeah.
If it was actually really deep.
like
Even if it wasn't.
Yeah, even if it wasn't deep. If
Yeah.
you just like kind of lightly cut your forehead, it's gonna fucking pour
that's
blood.
like
Secret in professional wrestling.
I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you. Yeah, they'll
The
throw
razor blade.
a hidden blade, and they'll like cut their heads and shit to like theatrics. Terrible idea, but looks really cool. So you got to
Their
help.
foreheads look. There's some wrestlers I've seen in like
Yes.
in interviews who like their foreheads look.
It's clear that they cut the fuck out of them.
You can tell the
butchered.
guys who had who knew what they were doing, guys who were just like, we're just going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
That's like I remember. I think
Gashes.
another tangent. It was behind the ring or whatever, beyond the ring. Whatever.
dark side
The
of the
dark side of the
ring.
ring.
No.
That's what it was.
Love that
And it was
series.
it was about a kid who was like it was his first wrestling match and like a semi-professional thing, and the dude was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
New Jack was the guy.
New Jack. That's what it was, and he just went at him with the razor blade on
With
his
a
forehead,
scalpel.
with a scalpel on his forehead, like to a degree where it was like they probably had to like I didn't finish it because I was like this
the
is
kid was
upsetting
not
me.
okay.
Yeah, like probably had to like sew flaps of his forehead back on. You know what I mean? Like
damn.
probably literally like hanging
It's
off.
one of the most violent events in professional wrestling history in a on a certain level. Like
Yeah.
ECW was a pretty big promotion. Like
Yeah, ECW was.
it
that's
came out later that like Vince McMahon was like secretly funding them to like perpetuate competition.
Oh wow, no
So
shit.
it's like they were, I mean, it wasn't just like some backyard show where I'm sure people fucking have died.
Yeah.
yeah. Have you guys ever intentionally cut yourselves?
No.
It was a joke question.
Actually, one time I found a razor blade in my grandfather's glove box, and I was like, "What is this?" Like I didn't know what because it was like a weird box cutter thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Is it sharp?" I kind of like ran it across my thumb to see like, is it just like I felt a blade before,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, weird." And I set it back in the glove box, and I look, my hands just like
Split open.
I was like, I didn't feel it.
It was. Sharp.
I didn't feel a fucking
Those really,
thing.
really super sharp stuff you don't feel.
No, I went through a wild of playing punk shows, and I might have I might have worn a hospital gown to a show and intentionally cut open the back of my hand to make a lot of blood, and then rubbed it all over the hospital gown. And yeah.
Normal.
It wasn't.
Show.
But I also ate my own vomit in front of a crowd of people, so.
I don't know which
Punk
one of those
rock,
two things
baby.
weirder. I would totally
Don't do it
derailed.
anymore.
So Ethan, he just played his first punk show in a car, and
He's fucked up.
he's pretty fucked up. He was like, he's like, and I remember
No,
like,
he's all there at this point.
yeah, you're right. It's later on. There's moments where he's supposed to be sleeping, but his eyes are open. It was very strange. Anyway,
He's unconscious.
You can try to help him out.
First and ask questions later.
Yeah, did you tend to his wounds?
I did. Initially, there's a thing sometimes in this game where you just don't know what's gonna happen. Like it'll give you like you can press the button here.
Sometimes in this game, you don't know what's going to happen.
You just don't know what like
Like occasionally the game
throws a curveball at you.
it just surprises you every once in a while.
It's very true.
This chapter is like 5 minutes, and we've been talking about it for like
It's pretty brief.
Yeah, get to it. What are you trying to say?
So I accidentally sat next to him.
I'm not going to interrupt you.
I appreciate that. I accidentally sat next to him and stared at him instead of helping him out, and I was like, oh fuck! So I had to like get back up. But I grabbed. You can go to the bathroom, which is just stocked with medicine. Is that normal for a hotel?
If you look on if it's a motel, and because it's like a pretend, it seems like it's a place where you could probably get an hourly rate. You know what I mean? For the motel, if you look next to the medicine cabinet, there is a list of things where it's like toiletries, bandages. You know what I mean?
That's right.
They all have a price next to them.
I saw
of all
that,
the
but I
things in
was-
the bathroom that you can use that are like replaceable.
Oh, okay. I did see that, but I didn't read it because I didn't know if this was a timed experience. So
I don't know if it says like I can't confirm that it says like
I
painkillers.
don't
You know
think it
what I
does,
mean?
but it has a list of services like laundry, and there was one that said like kitchen laundry, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? But I'm realizing now it's probably like dish towels and stuff. Because when I was going to bring this up when we were talking about the bathroom, there is like a list of services.
Yeah.
And it's like laundry,
Paracetamol, anti-fever.
kitchen laundry. And I was like, you can get your laundry done in the kitchen? Or,
We'll just wash it in the sink, or we'll do it in the
also-
washer and dryer.
Whatever you want, we'll do
your room
it.
doesn't have a kitchen.
Antibiotics.
No,
No, you don't have a kitchenette.
you have a little
So it's
table.
like, I don't care. They probably just saw it.
You do have a closet though.
You do.
I should
But yeah, out of the
You're
medicine
looking
cabinet, I grabbed the. I'm assuming isopropyl alcohol to clean.
Just
his
like
wounds.
antiseptic. You
Yeah.
grab some sort of antiseptic.
And I sponged that very delicately. It was one of those
I
things that
did.
if you go
you
too
didn't.
fast,
You just fucking.
He went, ah! I went, sorry.
Okay.
And then I had to go really slow again.
I was
did that
surprised-
Every time I tried to help him, I was like, I don't know what it was. I was just not paying attention. He was just like, I was like, no, sorry. And it just lets you do it again, but.
Yeah, it doesn't really like. It didn't seem to affect it because later on, he like screams in pain. And I was
God,
like, I'm
okay.
sorry.
Like just so we can encompass everybody's experience. Like you can
Yes.
get bandages, the disinfectant,
At least
Anti-fever.
painkiller. I was going to get to that.
Sorry.
Yes. Or the thing you just said.
anti-fever.
and there's also
medication.
antibiotics,
yes.
Right.
which I grabbed the antibiotics thinking he might have an infection from the cut. You should just take antibiotics to prevent infections.
And she's like, no, I'll just disinfect it.
I brought the antibiotics to him. You
I
can
brought
grab
that-
it, and I
I
brought
brought
it
it
to
as
him,
well.
and he goes, "Don't really think I need antibiotics right now." And I was like, "Are you the fucking doctor here?" You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who this naked bitch is, but like, she could be a
She's not
nurse.
helping me.
You know what I
Could
mean?
be.
And
Really?
it's like, I don't know. I'm like, you take
Butt
antibiotics
like that.
You do with an ass
Hello, nurse.
Ethan was gonna risk everything.
like that. Risk it all.
So yeah, I disinfected his wounds, which is I still expected him to go, ooh, but he didn't because I
Right.
went slow enough. Because that shit's gonna hurt no matter what.
It doesn't.
You wrap bandages all around him.
Yeah,
I was like, that is one thing that like, if you put alcohol on a wound, it doesn't matter how quickly or slowly you do it.
it hurts.
She
it's
says
bad.
this might hurt a little bit, but
Yeah.
like you do eventually give him the painkillers, right?
I gave him
Yeah.
painkillers.
And he just
Fucking-
chomps them down like
He
Smarties.
takes like
He
three
takes
or four of them.
I think he
Yeah.
takes 3 or 4. Yeah, I think he takes 3.
And they're also just like the model's like hanging off the bed.
Yeah,
It's like here's the bed and here's like the pill, just like
Yeah.
it's not quite. It's like
very
There was
oddly
a couple
placed.
moments.
The game usually looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
And sometimes the environments just look incredible.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, there's just like a model where it's like, oh, you couldn't have like moved that over a little bit. Like I don't know the geometry of the thing. I don't
Yeah,
understand
God
it,
only
but-
knows.
I fucked
There's
up.
something coming up in like literally 30 seconds that like I was kind of, or probably a full minute that I was like upset by.
Did you watch him shower?
I did. I peeked in on him.
Peeked in to see if I could get a little extra.
It looks like he's wearing his
Talk to me
pants
so
in the
you
shower.
know you're alive.
it
It
did
looks
look
like
like he was wearing.
He's
pants.
wearing pants in the shower.
You don't?
Talk to me.
I don't. No, I don't wear pants in
Yeah.
the shower. No.
It's
I wear
uh,
pants in the bath.
Okay, yeah.
I
So if you
yes.
accidentally poop yourself, it'll be contained and
No,
you won't get into
no.
the water.
No, it's just I don't want my legs to get wet.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't
that's a
want
good idea.
I don't
Bag
want
'em
like
up.
water feeding back up into my urethra. And I
you
figure
gotta
if I keep
prevent
the
it.
pants on, that'll stop
There
it
you go,
from
septic.
functioning.
So yeah, I checked out his hot dog. For a
can't-
man with 2 broken ribs and a concussion, he's doing pretty well.
Painkillers do not kick on that quickly.
Yeah.
No.
Like I just recently had all my wisdom teeth taken out, all 4 at once, and
That's
like
no
I
joke.
popped a couple painkillers.
Yeah.
They gave me like oxys, and I'd
I
pop a
got
couple of
oxys as
those,
well.
and like it would be a good half an hour, 45 minutes before I was like, I think it's
You
happening.
didn't blow.
Yeah.
Huh? No, I didn't blow. No, I didn't blow. No, not anymore.
It is faster.
Right into your bloodstream.
I'm not an adventurous person when it comes to substances. I've never tried pills or anything. But
Good.
I got all 4 of my wisdom teeth out. You remember this in high school. And it was so bad that taking an oxy just brought me back to neutral, where it just was a small ache. Like that's how severe it was.
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right.
So
So,
the thought of taking like 4 with how effective that was at tremendous pain, I feel like I would have fallen asleep. But yeah, hot dog, you watch him and they're talking back and forth.
did you go through his jacket while he was
I
in
did.
the shower?
No, I checked out the closet, but yeah, I didn't.
I went into the box.
I looked into the.
You went into the box?
Oh, no,
in the
no, I
fridge.
didn't go into the box.
Oh,
I couldn't
okay.
find the box.
I was like, I couldn't either because I
I
tried
went into his
to.
jacket and I found a piece of origami. I
Yep.
was like,
Oh,
what is this doing here?
okay.
There's a lot of red flags about. You figure out her name during this period too, I
I
believe.
didn't.
No,
As they're
I
talking-
think
no,
this is
it's right
later.
after. But
yeah,
I almost just said her name, so I didn't want to reveal it. But there's a lot of red flags that come up about this woman throughout the game, where you're kind of like,
Oh yeah, you do. You talk to each other afterward.
yeah, because as you come out of the shower, she's
Like
still
Madison
sitting.
Page.
You hear him turn off the shower, so you hurriedly throw the jacket back down on the table, on the bed, and try to put stuff back into it, you know what I mean?
Oh fuck!
Right? Oh shit, you drop it and fucking trip and fall. No. And then I
her
sat back down
pants.
in the chair to make it seem like I was
Me
just
too.
innocently
I did
doing
too.
Wow,
something.
you guys are fully.
I was like,
When he came out of the bathroom, I was standing directly in front of the door. Like, whoa! Oops! Whoops! Like, pull your hand out of her front of her pants.
When
Who's this horny lady?
he leave, Madison leaves after this. There isn't really much going on, but Ethan again,
and she
when he
says,
gets ready,
"Bye."
he dumps the box again
He keeps dumping the box.
just to grab the one origami figure.
Yeah.
He could have just grabbed it. He
Matt,
dumps it.
No, Matt. Origami.
The origami
or
figure.
Jeremy.
That's
Origami.
not yet. Because he just needs the next figure. He already knows it's in the box. He's examined the full contents of the box in the
Yes.
previous, before the first trial.
he could just go, this one is the one
Because
that's the
what he
next
does,
one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he scoops it all back into the box.
Every time.
And it's like, he didn't need to dump it all.
He also doesn't hide the box this time.
No, he just sits
He
there.
just
and
leaves it
doesn't
on the
throw
desk.
into
I'd have more reason to hide it now that Madison's been in there.
Now that somebody else has been in my fucking room. Also, this is a moment on like a graphical little thing. You can like, if you do your thoughts when you switch to Ethan, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, I'm thirsty. For whatever reason, always thirsty. I rocked a quick piss, you know what I mean? Because you got to.
I
You
stopped
have to.
pissing. I don't know why everyone pisses, but keep going.
Everybody pisses, so you gotta figure out what it's like. I wanna get the full piss speed run.
Does he affect? Does his broken body affect his?
No,
piss?
in fact, there's a lot of things that come up in this next region where I'm like, this guy's got 2 broken ribs. I broke 2 ribs one time. I was not doing this.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's-
mean?
that's kinda
Like,
what
and
I was
went to
thinking
a
about.
hospital. You know what I mean? But he goes to take a drink of water, and again, this is another thing that's very European about this, is that like they're never water bottles. They're always tall glasses of like Evian. It's
It
always
almost looks
like, you
like
know
a
what I
mixer.
mean?
It's
Yeah.
the same bottle Madison had in her apartment that I
Yeah.
sent you guys the footage of, where she's like,
But this one, it's like it looks empty.
it looks empty.
It
It
just
did.
looks like he's just drinking nothing.
The
It's like
game does a very bad job with people drinking. There's several parts in the game where people take a sip from something and it looks horrible.
Yeah, you're right.
And they could have, because at one point they kind of obscure it, so you see him like from behind. You see his arm go up.
That'd be great.
I would have just
Just
done
do that.
I would have
Yeah.
gone, ooh, this looks a
I
little
don't
wonky.
need to see it. Like,
We know what somebody drinking from a bottle looks
yeah,
like.
you don't need to have to be like,
Oh, go. Yeah, like a full-on like direct shot. Go.
instead he's like here, like,
It's bad.
Hell, even fucking Ocarina of Time, I feel like does a pretty solid job. Like you watch the
well, because his hand obscures his mouth.
yeah,
So you
and then
don't
he
actually
wipes it-
see what's exactly. You don't see what's
and then like
and
a
then he
good
does a
like a good girl, he wipes his mouth after, and
Jesus
then
fucking Christ.
All right, so we're
this is
going
the
on
horniest
to,
episode of I played ever.
He's going to go to the old power plant. But not yet, because we're going to chapter 18. Covered
Bankruptcy.
That's not the name.
Covered Market, Chapter 18. Chapter 18 Bankruptcy. Is that what you're filing for?
Yeah, it's worse than chapter 8 through 17. So we land on our two heroes,
Yes.
Norman Jaden and Blake.
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin. He's looking different these days.
Blake's his last name. It's just Lieutenant Blake.
Oh, okay.
I think we know his first name, but I don't.
It's Kyle.
I don't remember his name.
Not
I don't
either.
remember. It's Lieutenant Blake.
Richard, maybe?
Did you guys fucking make fun of him right away?
No,
No,
I was.
so
This was
I-
a vulnerable moment for me.
Yeah, I was. Well, because in our playthrough, we killed Nathaniel and you didn't. So what happened to you?
Blasted.
I forgot that you guys both
Yeah, we
killed
blasted
Nathaniel. Oh, I am. He's like, why didn't you fucking shoot? And I was like, it's my job. It's my job. I'm supposed to know
I'm
when
supposed
to
to
react
not
and how to
shoot
react. He's
him.
like, it was a split second. You didn't know he was gonna have a gun. And then you can either be like, I think it's aggressive or ironic. And so I chose ironic. And he goes, oh, what's the matter? Big tough veteran cop? Couldn't he handle a little gunplay? Couldn't he handle, he's basically like, oh, big strong man. Big strong man. Couldn't he handle a little bit? And Blake's just like, fuck you. And then we
wish
both
I
get out of the
Good.
car.
I fucking wish I had seen that.
It was
No,
so
what
funny.
happened for us was we were feeling very sullen, and,
Jaden-
and Blake, and uncharacteristically, I don't know if this. I'll just say it.
You're gonna say it?
He goes, I thought I wrote down. The first time always does something to you. Then you get used to it.
Yeah. Which wasn't like very comforting, but was like at least you're throwing me a little bit of a bone.
But he was like, look, I get that you're hurting. I remember I was hurting like you did the first time.
Now I don't
killed
feel
someone.
anything.
The first time I killed someone and then just left their body in the house despite the fact that I'm a police officer. I remember the first time we're not talking about killing someone in duty.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I murdered a man in cold
Murdered a man.
blood.
When I broke into a guy's house and shot him and then went, and walked over his corpse to leave and left it.
He wasn't even the bad guy.
I didn't even take anything from the house either.
No,
I just
nothing,
killed him.
nothing gained from that experience.
Now, when he said that to you, how did you react?
I chose the option that was I can't remember the word now. It said
always does
like
something to you the
vulnerable
first
or
time.
something, or like just like I was
get used
honest
to
with my feelings at the time. And Norman said something like, "It's like I'm not sure I want to get used to it."
That's what happened to me too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The option was sincerity.
Sincerity.
When I was a young boy, I had a crush on a girl named Sincerity.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think she
This
was.
is-
Was it the porn star
Korean.
Sincerity?
Oh, okay. We had a foreign exchange student live with us for a moment. Who this wasn't her real name, but like they picked their name or whatever.
Yeah.
when they-
Yeah.
It was Sugar. Her name was Sugar. And I was like, okay.
Those
She
are
was
always-
nice. She was really into Lolita stuff, and that was weird.
Nice. It's good to date girls like that.
I didn't date her.
Jordan was banging it the whole
He was a
time.
foreign
So,
exchange student. I didn't live at home
there's also
anymore.
a-
The reason
Drastic
that you're
age
here,
difference between
the
us.
reason that you're here is
She's
because
really old.
You were
She
going
was
to
like
see
30.
Nathaniel. He was one of the suspects.
You blast him.
You have another suspect who you are also going to have to kill in the streets, presumably.
Yeah.
You go, here it is.
There he is. Let's get him.
And
Get
you're
the
like,
guns.
Blake wants to at
You're
least.
like, hey, I'm Norman Jaden, FBI. Can we talk for a minute? And the guy's like-
He says,
Can we talk for a minute?
The guy's like just standing on the street.
He's got a little coffee
thug.
mug.
He looks. You mentioned that Troy from the hotel
Office?
Yes.
looked a little bit like Lupino from the Max Payne movie. This guy looks even more like Lupino.
Yes. Except
Oh
for
my
the little,
God,
The little
yeah.
Chavo Dajian
But this guy does
Yeah.
have the face tat,
goatee.
I think.
Yeah,
he
does
has
have the
he has
face
these
tat.
like tribal tattoos like where his beard is, which is
Yes.
like character design wise kind of cool. Not
That
in
makes
real
sense.
life.
He's supposed to be
but-
like a career criminal, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah,
that's the idea.
he's a big thug. He's like drinking a coffee, and he like throws the coffee in Blake's face and runs.
It's fucking awesome.
This was a sick fucking scene. He has a very. Did you write down his name? He has a very either like German or
very Eastern Bloc.
Russian name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name,
Yeah,
but I think it was
very,
Russian.
very interesting.
I don't think that's interesting at all.
I thought it was a cool name.
It was Mikhail Gorbachev.
Oh my god.
Okay, that is interesting.
What are the chances? Sorry, there's a video like a promoted post for me recently that was like we care for the turtles, like we care for these aging turtles, and their name sometimes they'll write their name.
Oh yeah.
in paint.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
His name was Adolf.
His name was Adolf.
I mean, that's a name.
Well, the thing
I
is too,
mean-
and the turtle was named. The turtle's
So
100.
Saddam.
The turtle's 130 years old. The turtle was presumably named 130 years ago.
Okay.
So that was I
you
had
got
the same thought.
grandfathered
So
in.
I was like, there was a lot of people were named Adolf.
Yes.
That's why Hitler was named Adolf.
It was an incredibly common name.
because
It
a
still
lot of people were
sometimes
named
is.
Adolf.
But
I
it's-
don't think there's very many Adolfs now.
Exactly. I think they kind of.
There exist
You think there wouldn't be a lot of Jesuses either, but there are.
a lot of Jesus, but
He
that
got me there, but he didn't.
That's a very different,
histories here. Matt knows.
Yes, it is. I see what you're going for.
Matt has to know something that we. Jordan
a
and I
lot of
keep-
Abrahams out there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not because of Lincoln. You know what I mean?
Jordan and I-
No, it's because Abraham from the Bible.
Yeah,
Just like Jesus from the Bible, not like Adolf from the Bible.
Adolf, in the Bible, his name was probably something else. It was probably like
Abraham.
Abraham. No, but so I likened this to when Booker T and Steve Austin had the wrestling match in the supermarket. Which, you may have seen clips of at some point.
Sounds a
That's
little
the got
familiar.
milk. Got milk, bitch. And then he like
Bitch.
Stone Cold like dumps the fucking gallon of milk in his mouth, and he's like, "Got milk," and then he smashed him over Booker T's head.
Was this a commercial?
Dumps him
Like,
on
did
it.
they use that as a
they,
No,
they
this
have
was
a,
like a-
they have a public match in a store, and they were just like,
Is it like a store, like a real
It's
store?
like a Yando's Big M.
Wow.
It's,
Yeah,
it's,
they
it's
go-
like a similar energy to Matt's.
Not like a set, like
music
as a
video that he
real-
put.
like I said, it's basically like what happens here, except like basically Vince was like, we'll pay for whatever we destroy. Let us fuck the store up.
Vince
And,
goes
like,
back and forth between being the coolest guy in the world and like the bad guy of Earth. Because that's a really cool thing to do. He's like,
It's not morally right or wrong.
He just,
No,
I mean, he knows
he's
how
just
to.
like-
business.
He's a good businessman.
It's
He knows
cool.
how to market
It's a cool
things
idea.
well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like,
it's a cool match. You should look it up. It's on YouTube.
can you
look it up.
Can you play it right now? The footage of the whole thing with audio.
I'll play the footage of the whole thing right now. Instead of
I sent a
in-game
gift
footage.
to you the other day that you responded with.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, sorry.
So
I don't know what you're talking
so basically, you're running and you go through the.
I got
Yeah.
hit by a car right away.
Oh, really? I did too.
Yeah, like that was the only.
You run through traffic.
That was the only
might have missed
QTE I
that
actually
first one.
missed this whole time because this
Really?
one I was fucking dialed in for this one.
Dude,
I was dialed in, and it was hard.
It's
Yeah, this one
called
was
covered
crazy.
market, but it is essentially like a supermarket. It looks like a supermarket, except
There's
it's
some
got,
things-
things that we don't have here, like live poultry.
live fucking chickens.
And I mean, like, I need you to know, I've been in the United States to international food markets that are like the size of like, it's ludicrous the size
Yeah.
of these places. You know, it's like 2 football fields. There's no live animals. You can't have live animals in American supermarkets.
you really can't.
It's
they don't. They get
it's
so
lobsters.
mad.
It is a lobsters are an exception. You can't have
And I'm
have
shocked he didn't like bust a lobster tank or like throw lobsters at you.
Yeah.
they did everything, but you can't have live chickens in supermarkets in the United States. It's against health code.
You're not supposed to have any animals. in
It's-
yeah.
But that's a very European thing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're like, oh, we got it here. They probably got it there too.
You have a wild chase through this market.
Oh, yes.
You can slip over
Ice.
ice from like there's like a bunch of fresh seafood on ice, and he like dumps that.
He just
there's
starts,
like
like,
there's like a crate of oranges or something you can fall on.
I had a hard time paying attention to what was happening because it was so fast. I just was only
There's
looking.
this really
for the
cool scene
symbols.
where you can like you can choose to go left or up.
Yeah, you can like
And
Yeah.
I like
on
And
something.
I hopped up onto
running
like
on the aisle
I was
or
running
whatever.
on the aisle shelf and I was like, oh, it was so fucking cool.
And then at one point you do pass like a bunch of cages of chickens, and he throws like a bunch of live chickens at you.
he like
Yeah.
grabs one.
Yeah.
He like literally like like Link in Zelda. And just-
over the head.
And this whole section is incredible. It's just
It really
amazing.
it was visually really cool, and it had one of my You inevitably get to like a. Like the confrontation finally happens in like a big like meat
You're
locker.
in a,
Yeah.
well, yeah. After the chase kind of ends, it slows down, and then there's a meat locker, and there's just like giant carcasses.
Just full cows.
And it goes into like a third-person shooter mode. You don't have like a cursor, but like it's
No.
behind the camera's
Did you guys
behind
try to shoot? I didn't. I wanted to try to
No.
shoot, but I didn't. I didn't want to like
I
press a
didn't want my
button
gun
next
to go
time.
off, but
Yeah.
he's like, I can't see anything because there's too much meat in front of me. And you're like, it's similar.
All
to
this
the
meat
crowd.
in my face.
What is all this
mechanics.
meat that's here?
You're pushing through the meats. Like they're they aren't just meat hooks. I mean, it's a great visual.
Yeah.
For me, like eventually you find him, you go to shoot him. He has like a
Crowbar?
He has a meat hook.
Is that what it is?
It is a meat hook.
Oh, shit, I
Yeah,
thought
because
he
what
just-
what he's holding on to is effectively, they sit on like wheels that sit on a track so you can slide them along.
Right.
And so that would hook onto the wheel at the top.
Yeah.
and it comes around in the
Oh,
hooked
okay.
end because he gets it stuck in one of them at one point, and you have to
Right.
pull it back out. It's just a meat hook that he's
Okay.
using to
Okay.
come
Wow,
at
that's
you.
a lot more brutal. I was assuming it was just. I mean,
This is very specific knowledge I have about.
you bet
meat
it's
So,
a scenario.
it's big. It's a big metal thing.
They're heavy too.
whatever
They're
it
fucking,
is. I don't know
gotta
what
be.
I don't know what the actual object is, but it's some
I believe
sort
it's a meat hook.
Like a harpoon.
Substantial.
Okay. No, but yeah. So
Yeah,
he
I don't know what that was. That thing
strike
was
you with
either.
it, whatever that thing was he had in his hand.
It was like a black tool of some
Yeah.
sort. Sharp.
I think like a fire poker.
I think it was. Yeah, it was probably a fire poker.
Have you guys ever
That's
seen
the-
Mr. Deeds? Remember the fire poker when
I've seen
he
Mr. Bean.
puts it in?
Play piano?
So he's got the meat on his head, and he's like, "Whoa."
It's like Joey from Friends. He's got the sunglasses.
Yes.
Whole
No,
turkey.
He bashed my fucking head in, and I was
Yeah.
just getting
What?
beat to shit
Really?
on the
Yeah.
ground, and he almost killed me.
He was beating your meat.
As I'm like trying to fight him off, he's way bigger than me.
Yeah, he's
Norman
a big
gets in a
dude.
few shots, but like does nothing.
Yeah, Norman's not a fighter.
Well, and it's crazy because, well, later Norman is a fighter, and it doesn't make
Okay.
any sense like when he is and isn't. But maybe it has to do with how much Tripto he's taken. My vision is like closing, and he's getting ready to completely smash my head in.
Yeah.
And Blake is standing there in the background just watching. And he's just like letting me get my ass kicked, and then at the last minute he fucking gets the guy.
Oh, what a
And he doesn't
bastard!
kill him.
Really?
He doesn't kill him.
Uh-huh,
He takes
just
him in.
shoots him.
But he does something to apprehend him. I can't remember what because I was passing out.
Were you getting your ass kicked in real life? Mm-hmm. In real life, you were passing out.
Yes.
He was going in and out. He was like, ugh.
Were you getting your ass kicked because were you fucking up the quick times?
That's why. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Because
I wasn't sure if you just. No, I wasn't sure if you got into like if.
No, I chose
When you ran
the
into
path where
him.
if you do all the QTEs correctly, you get beat up.
Oh, okay. Wow,
These were some of my,
that could happen in this game.
There was a really cool like just one of the QTE mechanics that like came the closest to throwing me off because I think I only missed one during this fight too. Because it's like Norman does know how to fight in this one because he keeps like coming in, he's jab. You know what I mean?
He does.
If
I
you
guess
get
I
it right.
misspoke. It doesn't seem like he's a powerhouse, but he's definitely agile.
No, he knows how to fight though. It seems
Yeah.
like because he keeps blocking the hits from the thing. You know what I mean? And like
He is
hitting
holding
it
his
to the
own.
side and like grabbing it.
Misspoke.
But like, the dude brings it up at one point above his head. He like has the meat hook and he swings it up like that. You know what I mean? And the
Like Max Payne with a baseball bat.
yeah, and it says like you have to hit like right bumper or whatever. You know what I mean? The button follows the crowbar around.
Oh, so it's really
and so
fucking-
it was really hard to like
The
actually
game
see
does
it
more
to
and more of
follow.
those as you go
It was
on,
so
where
cool.
it's like,
I thought
wait,
that was so
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
I was excited to talk about this part because I think this is where the game for me, like, I feel like this is where it's like, all right, you're here. You know what I mean? We've given you the skills. Now it's time to actually play the game.
Yeah. Now you're just doing it.
Yeah. I love that there was a couple where I actually thought there was multiple inputs at one point, but there wasn't. It was there was like
can
I think there
choose.
was
It was the
actually, no.
choices.
Were there a couple sections in the market where you had to split people? Because like you had
Oh
to
yeah,
run
there was
past
there was
people,
I think there was
and I
two
think
moments
had
where you hit
to-
left and right bumper
it's
simultaneously.
only
to
ever
move.
right stick. You never use left.
Really?
Stick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it looks like
No.
you do, but what that is,
Yeah,
it's a
because I
choice.
definitely did
You
that.
hit left
I
and right
mentioned that in one
bumper
of the other
to
episodes where I was like, oh
yeah.
yeah.
you hit left and right bumper to push two people apart.
Okay.
But that's the only time I recall. And then you have to tap left and right when you're sliding on the
when you're
ice.
sliding, that was super cool, and like it's just the same as.
Similar
But it's
to
the
the
mechanic that,
mudslide.
yeah,
The
exactly.
mudslide.
Which, like you said, it is kind of like this feels like the point where it's like all of the shit you've done as Norman up until now, here it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are all of his skills.
Now,
Can
I
you
don't
do
know
it?
exactly-
Were you shocked? Sorry.
I don't know exactly how to explain this, but I really started to like. It's crazy the things that this game makes you feel. Sometimes it feels like I said this in a group chat recently. I said it feels like it's a joke at points. You're like, I can't believe they put this into a game. But then there's these moments where you're like, oh my god, I need to take a breath because
Yeah.
I'm really. Did you fucking squirt right now? What was that
No,
noise?
I'm sorry, my mouth made a little. It was weird.
farted.
There's other
inhaled.
times where you get very horny.
Yeah, I was rock hard a couple different times. I've been feeling it
Twice
running the
so far.
gamut of the beginning when you take the first shower is Ethan.
And then the second time
Second
when you-
shower.
when you watch Ethan in the shower.
But there's
That was the
and
second time for me.
maybe you guys know more about like filming and like cinematic stuff than I do. But there's this art of like. I don't even know what it's called. I guess it's just cinematography, but it's like, especially when an action sequence where it's like, you show movement from like the character goes from the right to the left, and then you see this guy, and it maintains like there's a way that you can shoot a scene that allows the watcher, even if it's fast, to know where everything is spatially and can still follow the action. That's why there's a lot of battles, like fight sequences in some action movies that are dog shit because it's just quick movement and you can't tell.
I think it's just good filming versus poor filming. I don't know if it's a technique.
But I think they do.
I'm sure it is.
There's a rule you're not supposed to break a certain like line of sight.
Yeah.
Because like at that point the viewer becomes disoriented.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think they nail that, but then they also amp it up because they allow you, for the most part, I think their goal was that you could see the action, see what's going to happen, your eye will follow it to where you're supposed to see the icon, and then you press that button to get to the next sequence. That's fucking extremely hard to do. There's no way that was easy to do. It's not just cutscene, press the button. Like they really,
composed.
it's
They
literally
did a really good job with this whole section. It was amazing.
It's funny that there's moments in this game where I was like, there's no way this is real. But in this moment, I was just like, oh my God, this is the work of masters. You know what I mean? It's just crazy how it's made me feel all these different things.
If Blake doesn't kill him, he comes in winded after you beat the shit out of him.
Okay,
And
yeah.
you just arrest him.
Yeah, you beat him up with you get the meat hook from him and you like hit him a couple times and he
Knocked
hits
him
the
out.
ground.
So-
Yeah,
And then
I kicked
Blake's like-
his fucking. yeah. But for Blake, he barely even had to.
He like jogged in. He
Yeah.
like jogged. He like was clearly just kind of like doing one of these
he was-
behind you the
yeah.
whole
He
time.
didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he got all the hot coffee on his face. He had
Norman,
to
don't get
dry
beat up.
off.
Don't get beat up, Norman.
Fucking. I was
He did
surprised
get the hot coffee to the face. You're right.
In the moment, it looked like it barely affected him. If you go back and
was
look
like-
at when it happens, how hot could the coffee be when you're standing out in the cold rain
That's right.
with no lid?
In heavy rain.
The hot coffee
And
mod.
I was shocked that he didn't like put on airy and then
That's
like,
what the hot coffee mod is.
Just use like some sort of like thermal imaging thing to be like,
You
oh,
have
the guy's over there.
Yeah, where is he in this meat locker? Yeah.
Oh,
It
that's
seemed
a
like
good
an
point.
obvious thing.
Yeah.
And also, I have my notes
You do?
that Blake hit the guy with a shovel. It seemed.
Yeah, that's weird. Maybe they. I mean, they've.
It's a
it
meat
seems
shovel.
like they do a. It seems like they do a lot in the fucking supermarket. Maybe they have like a smoker as well.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
you grabbed
maybe
it.
it looked
stuff.
like a shovel.
Yeah.
It was not another meat hook.
Yeah.
for sure. But that's the end of that chapter. That's chapter 18. The open market or the covered market. It's not an open market.
No, it's covered.
It's the difference between an open and covered market. The covering. Chapter 19. A visitor.
Oh,
Scott Shelby has been drinking hard. Passed out on his desk.
just snoozing.
And you gotta press the buttons for like.
To get him to wake up. You're like shaking, and he's like.
So like, you're at his desk. You can,
As if his hands are trying to wake him up. Like,
you can get whiskey. You can look in
Yeah.
the drawers of your desk.
I looked in all the drawers. Yeah.
I looked in
This
Scott
where-
Shelby's drawers.
I did.
Huh?
Whoa.
Oh wow.
Hey, little guy.
Oh, got a swamp going on here. And then,
So I took the asthma inhaler. Did you guys take the?
oh yeah,
inhaler?
I
'cause it-
interacted with everything in the first room.
I interacted with everything in the desk. I think I might have missed a couple things in the
missed
main
some
room.
There's
things
not
in
enough
the
time to
rest of the
get to
place.
everything, but
Yeah.
I did because I needed to see them all.
You did see a putty tat?
Well, you mentioned that he has his decorum there, the
As what?
decorum. No, he's got a bunch of fucking plaques on the walls, being like, "I was a Navy SEAL, I was a cop."
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like,
He's also
oh.
slamming back Black Velvet. Don't know if you noticed.
Is that a real?
No, really?
Is
Uh-huh.
that, is
Black
that,
Velvet for sure.
is it like it looks like it?
I put it in my notes.
That's
Oh,
funny.
That song. That song.
Is it
rips.
is it like does it say Black Velvet or is it just like
It-
like a 1 degree away
says
from
It is 1 degree away from Black
It says
Velvet.
Noir Velveeta. I didn't swig the whiskey because I wanted him to have a clear mind.
I
but
thought you needed a little hair of the dog.
I
Yeah.
totally-
Yeah, I did too. I didn't.
well later
There was
on.
a later on moment I didn't.
I did.
Oh, you did? That was when I didn't think it
All
was
right, well,
appropriate.
hey, we're not there yet.
Sorry.
So what I gotta say is
I was very surprised. It was good to see. I liked that they showed that he was a Navy, I believe a Navy SEAL and a police officer because
Maybe not a seal.
yeah.
was in
The
the
more you say
Navy.
that he was a Navy SEAL.
I believe so. So there's this game takes artistic liberties on that plaque. It's hard to see, but it says United States Armed Forces, and it had the badge in the center was an anchor. And when I looked up Navy SEAL logos, it's usually some variation of an anchor.
Well, he might just be
I'm not
in
actually
the,
in the Navy.
He might just be in the Navy. Navy SEALs is like
I know they're like
an
a special
elite.
team,
It's like
yeah.
an elite force of the.
Yeah.
I was like, he might just be Navy.
It seemed to indicate that to me, but maybe he was just a
Maybe he was
But
a
I don't know.
naval
I don't know what a
officer.
regular Navy guy's called.
He's just an officer in the Navy.
Yeah, he's a
There-
naval
there's
officer.
Just like in the military, there's like a million from like the guy who scrubs the toilets to the guy who like presses the button when it's time to nuke
Do
another
it?
country.
Yeah.
Like there's, he could.
And they're all seamen.
There's a lot.
He
Yeah,
could have
that's
been an
right.
engineer. He could have been a mechanic. He could have been
Well, clearly he has
some sort of male prostitute.
It was nice to see that backstory because let's be real, he's a little bit out of shape, but he
And I think-
kicks some serious ass.
I think he was a cop too, because you find the badge in the desk as
He
well.
was a lieutenant
Oh,
for the
the
local
badge.
police force.
I didn't connect that
Yeah.
for some reason. Huh?
You didn't connect that?
Yeah, I pulled the badge. I was just like, oh, that's his private investigator badge, but they don't have those.
You don't get one. Yeah, you
make
probably
any
get like a
fucking
like a card or
Yeah.
a piece of paper, like a gun permit, like a hunting permit. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
a fishing
not
permit.
like-
That's just like you're allowed to do this.
Yeah, not like a federal issued
Not a
golden
metal
hunk.
badge.
I'm looking up Scott Shelby on the Heavy Rain wiki. It doesn't say anything about him being in the Navy.
Listen,
not
I'll
to
have
say
you know
you're
my name
wrong.
is Scott Shelby, and I'm a Navy SEAL, and I have a kill count of upwards of 600.
What the fuck did you
I'm
just
6
fucking
foot
say
two,
to me?
and 220 pounds.
It did say United States Armed Forces.
That always threw me off in the
With
green text.
an image of an anchor. What?
I've always been 6'2" and well over 220 pounds, and I'm like,
I'm that right now, Jordan.
yeah, I'm like, I'm that right now as well. Like I'm 6'2", like 225 probably. You know what I mean? And like, I don't think I'm that physically imposing. Maybe because I'm like,
I don't feel like
I'm
I
like,
am.
you can be 6'2", 220 though, and like not be a ripped guy.
Okay.
Is my
Very
point.
All right.
Very true.
In his adulthood, Scott served in the United States Marine Corps. Following
Marine
the completion
Corps.
of his tour of duty, he worked as a police officer, rising to the rank of lieutenant.
That's confusing because the image was a. Well, okay. Oh no. It just said United States Armed Forces that had an anchor, and I think it also had an eagle. It's kind of hard to make out.
I think if it's just the armed forces, I think they have all the shit on there.
Yeah, because
what I
I think the Navy uses a lot of imagery with the anchor, obviously, because it's water. And then I looked up like Air Force
Did
and
it
other
look
stuff.
like this? Was it the anchor and the eagle?
no,
The Marine Corps logo?
no, it was a big anchor that was like vertical, and then I think there was a bird to the right of it.
All right, it's probably because I
couldn't
couldn't use
find-
the actual military insignia, but
Yeah.
it's just he's
Scott
just a Marine.
Shelby, stolen
Alright.
valor.
That's the DLC.
So he
Needless to say, he's trained on how to,
Fuck a guy up.
I'll say, fight people.
he was part of SEAL Team 6.
He was there.
He was the one that
I
got him.
believe so.
pulled
I'm
the
just wondering
trigger.
about what you said.
That's
Yeah.
why. That's why.
But the thing I really wanted to get across
That's one
is
of the.
that
That's why he was kind of rude to
you get to go
Hassan.
through his whole apartment. You can look at the
Yes,
closet in this room.
No.
He's got the filing cabinets. He's got all the shit on his desk.
I went
I
into his
checked out-
bedroom real quick.
He's
I
got a
didn't even
little
see the
between the
bedroom.
kitchen and the bedroom. There's a dresser. You can look at the dresser drawers.
I did.
The bedroom. It's a master bedroom. There's a bathroom off of the bedroom. Did you go in the bathroom?
I didn't go in the bathroom.
I didn't even see the bat.
I didn't make it to the
Bedroom.
bathroom.
Yeah, and his piss animation is the best one. In the
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a I
fucking
would have
A.
pissed with Scott Shelby.
Damn it!
He goes like this.
Oh, you see his face?
He's
That's
loving
looking
it.
all chipper.
That he has a. I took a big stinky smiling piss as Scott Shelby. He's the kind of guy who like when he has like a good meal, he probably has a toothpick and he's like.
He unbuttons his pants.
Yeah.
He takes off, undoes a belt, unbuttons them. He leans back and
Gotta
he's
make some
toothpick.
room.
He loves to smoke a cigarette while the plate's still at the table. They're like smoking or non-smoking. He's like smoking, please.
Absolutely.
You know, in movies, there's the guy who takes a piss and goes, It's
Yeah.
just like he revels. He loves life. He loves to live.
does.
He loves
He
pissing.
loves to live big and live hard and piss big.
He loves pissing and
Piss
shitting.
hard and piss stinky.
He's eating a lot of asparagus.
No, I went to the dresser and I looked at like the old picture of. I think it's him. It's him or it's his father. It looked like an old
Yeah, there's
photo.
an old timey photo.
Yeah, of like
Just him
someone in
with a beard.
uniform. But it doesn't really look like him, which is why I was like, but he's also clearly like fat now.
He's,
you know what I
he's
mean?
different looking
And
than
older.
he probably was when he was younger.
But then I went into the kitchen and looked around his fucking 50s style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like mid-century fucking kitchen. And then the doorbell rang.
Yeah, for me,
The buzzer goes off.
I was taking my time. I looked at all the
I didn't
stuff.
get to take the big piss.
I didn't take the. I'm bummed out. I hope there's another piss segment, which there's a really high chance that there is.
Unless he does.
Yeah, I looked at my desk. I opened up the filing cabinet, and then I heard knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Was it
And it
knocking?
scared
I
the-
thought it was a doorbell.
It was a buzz.
Oh, was it?
It was like a
Someone's
buzzer.
buzzing in.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I'll just look around the
terrified
apartment
me.
more. But I was getting the split cam. I was like,
I had the
The
same
game
thought.
really wants me to go, so I'm just
I
gonna
was so uptight from that last sequence that I was like bracing myself. I'm like, there's gonna be a group of 7 men in baklavas.
Right, so when I open the door...
Baklavas?
Yeah.
7 men with pastry on their face.
Those face masks, you know.
I was tense too. I opened the door and I just, like, without even looking, I just put my fist, you know?
You bitch!
You get it open, you open it like this, so you just go right
Yeah.
out the door.
And to my
And
credit,
I
though,
knocked out Lauren
when-
Winters.
It took her
she
down.
is standing there. To Scott's credit, when he opens the door, he does it tactfully. He like looks out real quick and then he opens it all the way.
From the
Right,
center.
he says in his head, he goes, Lauren Winter, never thought it's that whore again.
That dumb
Calls her a
bitch.
whore.
She can't even.
He calls her a whore in the first time.
He like
meets her.
refers to.
Lauren, that.
Yeah, I guess
refers to
because
her
he's
as
like,
a
I've
whore.
seen whores live worse than
Yeah.
this. Like
What
so.
do you want? She's a whore. I mean, should I refer to her as a lady?
Not a whore.
Do I call a whore a lady? I mean,
I'm not
I
trying
can
to.
split the difference and call her a broad.
I don't want to be living in a world where we call whores ladies and ladies whores. Yeah, I like the face punching animation. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. I won't show it here, but just trust us, it was good.
It was
She
great.
comes in, she's like, you told me to call you if I remembered anything. And
She was
guess
a
what? I
very-
did remember something.
I
and
do
it's
remember
this.
You're
something.
like, cool, but you didn't call me.
Could have super called him. This felt kind of
You
forced.
showed up.
So she busts in.
It's also, this is when it becomes very clear that she has like a fucking, like for sure, like a Russian accent.
Yeah.
Like
there's
for
something.
sure, this woman has a Russian accent and is trying to like not doing a very good job.
Whether that's the actress that played her or the character. Yeah, wow. It's very potent.
Yeah, she brings up an envelope. She goes, this is what I got.
Whoa.
What?
First, I got her a glass of water.
I did too.
Oh, I told her to
Beat it.
just sit down.
Okay.
Oh, you just said sit down? I took her coat off. I said, let me
I
grab
took
your
her
coat.
coat.
I said, let me
Her
take
coat.
your jacket. I was like, hey, I might be. I left her the $50 on the
She
table.
is a whore.
She might be coming here like, you left me the $50. I
He
felt
does,
bad.
he does a little dance
You
to the
know,
to the kitchen to get the
kitchen.
glass. Yeah. Scott Shelby wants to fuck.
Scott Shelby wants to fuck.
He's not here for a
Yes.
long time. He's here for a good time.
So, yeah, so she gets acquainted with the space, and then she's like, you know, she pulls out the envelope. She goes, I got this. You know, I didn't think much about it, but I have it here. And
Which is baffling.
And
Well, because she said her husband read it, left the house, and never fucking came back. And I never thought about that letter again.
Huh, something I probably didn't need to
and Shelby goes,
be concerned with.
oh, and you think it could be related to your son's just...
No, they're so fucking dumb right
And
here.
it's like,
He's a little.
he's clearly playing coy,
That's what I was thinking.
because it's like, as you know, like, even when, like, and there's any sort of open investigation, like, you know, it's very common for anyone involved to be like, well, we'll take that into consideration, sure.
Yeah,
Can't be like,
regardless
oh my
of-
god, this is the one I'm looking for.
You're like, I have an image of this
'Cause what if
person.
she's the killer?
Yeah.
You know, you don't fucking know anything.
But even if you're like, I have an image of this person whose name I know. Here's an image of a person committing murder, but also their wallet is falling out as is identifying
All
them.
right,
They
well,
could
we'll
be like,
take a look at that if you don't mind.
we
If you
do-
can forward that to
we
us.
appreciate the help. As if like you're not really helping.
But she wants to help solve the case, and she
Yeah.
holds the envelope ransom, basically. And it's like, you won't get this if you don't let me help. And he's like...
He said, if you like it, you got to put a ring on it.
And
Scott
he's,
Shelby
he's
says.
like, he reluctantly agrees, which
After a little bit.
means,
I'll give you that.
one, she's stubborn. Two, the envelope is obviously important, because he would be like, yeah, it's a damn envelope, you dumb,
Well, he was able to like,
dumbass.
he was able to figure
idiot.
out which district it was mailed from by looking at the stamp.
Yeah, he looked at it real quick, and
He
it was
like
clear.
looked at the stamp and he was like, "Well, it came from this district," you know what I mean? And then he's like, "Nothing weird about the address except that it was typed on an old typewriter," you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, but then you could also flip it over, but you can only do 2 out of 3. You
I
can't
know.
do
I
No,
all
it
3.
bothered me.
There's
I
a,
only did the one. I go, I go, nothing weird about it, except for the address. And it's like, the address is weird? And he goes, well, it's typed. I would have said, like, nothing weird about it, except it's typed out with a typewriter. I don't,
Yeah.
The way he said, nothing weird except for the address. The address is weird. It's not the address that's weird.
no, it's the way it's typed.
Right.
Yeah.
For that matter, the name on it is
Yeah,
typed
everything that's typed on here is strange to me.
weird. But that just cut the scene for me, and then, you know, basically, we're partners now. We shook on it.
I was very resistant. I was
I did. I
like,
tried to be like, it's dangerous.
I said it was dangerous, and I was like, you don't want to fucking do this. And
No,
she's like, I want to do it.
Shelby was like, these mean streets ain't no place for a whore. And I was like, what? What is wrong with this guy?
Wow, Scott.
His eyes rolled back in his head as he was saying it.
Because he just loves
Drool
life.
coming out, yeah.
But no, you guys are partners, and you partner up to go to your next mission, which is Chapter 20.
Gordy Kramer's mansion.
Yeah, so you're...
With the fucking, like, a sick fucking beat blasting
Solid
as you're
beats.
walking up.
I
couple
think it's
different songs
actually,
play.
it's not Gordy.
That
It's
Gordy is the
Gordy's
son,
dad.
so Gordy's dad
just Kramer's
is...
mansion.
What's Gordy's dad's name?
From...
Frem.
I want to say Charlie.
I'm going to try to remember it.
Oh,
naturally.
it's killing me. I think it's Charlie.
It's important, though, because
It's Charles.
Charles, all right.
Maybe you better stay
Chaz.
in the car.
He goes by Chaz,
He
yeah.
goes by Chaz.
So
He looks like... That was a weird duck noise I made. He looks like Alec Baldwin. But we don't meet him yet.
Alec McBaldwin.
Alec...
you pull up to this like rockin' party at a mansion.
Yeah, it is bumping, baby.
It's like 1,000 cars.
You show something. To
What the fuck
security
was that?
guards.
And they were just like...
If you go to your thoughts, he implies that he bribed the guard earlier.
Yeah, but what the fuck with what?
That he's like,
He
get
says
paid
something-
off with the guard earlier, or something like that.
I thought he said something like, I see. I know what you're talking about. I didn't,
Yeah.
That implied to me like that, like Gordy, like
You think maybe he's the origami killer?
I don't know, like the
Oh,
guards
like
were
he's
like,
being sarcastic. Guess it paid off to have those bodyguards, because
Or-
even I got in here.
No, I didn't think that. I thought
No.
more like, oh, this is an important party. I guess like it's good that he's paying for security or something. It was the statement was ambiguous to me, and he didn't give something to the guard. It looked like he showed him an invite.
It did. It
Yeah.
looked like he showed him some sort of like you've
But it
gone to
looked like
like
a flyer.
you go to like a
Yeah.
festival or something, and they're like they hand you a thing that's like after party at this bar. You know what I mean? It seems
Right,
like one of
yeah.
those flyers. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it
Like
looked
Steel Panther
colorful.
playing. You know,
That's
like
fucking the one we
I know,
got.
that's
So, I don't know. Like maybe I can go back and confirm
Should've
that
gone
in the
to that.
notes here, but I have no fucking clue what that was.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
she's like, "What are we doing here?" And he's like, like,
shut up. Whore.
fucking Kramer's, and she's like, the big wig construction tycoon?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, it's his son, Gordy, we're looking for.
And she says, who?
When you get to the mansion,
I'm going to sit down.
It's a big mansion, there's a big yard, there's
Mm-hmm.
she's like, there's a big yard
50
around the place.
trillion cars,
There's
yeah.
a big tree, there's like 4 cars.
There was like
They
6.
parked to the left.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, 4 to 6, still a lot less than 50 trillion.
To you.
Substantially.
Maybe to you.
It's all perspective.
There's just a guy standing under the tree outside, and it's raining, and he's just like, just standing.
I
He's just
need
standing
to.
in the yard.
There's
I didn't
certain,
see that guy.
I didn't see
He
that.
wasn't a guard.
But there's sections like that make me think that there's a deeper underlying theme throughout all this, because I also pointed out in like the opening
all a
scene,
dream,
no, in the
man.
prologue, the opening scene when Ethan looks out his window into like the middle of the cul-de-sac and you see the kids playing. There's
that
also
man.
this man just also standing in the window, windows open, just staring right at you from like across the street, just like very imposingly. You know
I think
what
it's
I mean?
equally that it could be that, or just there's a lot of moments where there's some goofy characters.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that later, because I was very unnerved by a moment.
I have a lot of thoughts about this. So basically, you walk in. There's people immediately passed out all over the place.
Fucked
They're
up.
drinking everywhere. To your right, there's a pool room. To your left, there's a door you can't go into. And then ahead, there's basically a large open party area. Now, to the left, there's when you get into the main room, there's a stairwell that's guarded by 2 security guards, and you can't go over there. To your right, there's just more of an open area where there's like a bar and some
Yeah.
snacks and
Yeah.
stuff. If you go straight back, there's some couches, and there's like an entrance or exit out to the pool.
Yep.
And you can go outside and stand in the rain if you want for a little while. and nothing happens.
There's nothing to do outside.
I didn't go outside because I was like,
In the center of the room, there's a woman dancing on on a small platform, like on an ottoman, and she has a belt buckle that says, in big red letters, "Cool."
oh fuck yeah!
That's
I didn't
pretty
notice
sick.
it.
It's like
I don't know.
this.
I was
big.
too busy looking at her
I
lovely
thought I could talk to her
lumps.
because I kept kind of getting the. You can talk to the girl sitting like right next to her to
Well,
be
so
like.
you sit down
yeah.
in front of her
Oh okay.
What?
on the couch.
You can?
Oh, I didn't do that.
I didn't.
Oh,
do
really?
that.
I sat
No.
down on the couch and I lean over to the woman next to me. I go,
You come here often? Great party, huh? I think I didn't come here to make friends.
Yeah, you said you got a drink.
I
right?
did, yeah. So this
Whiskey
was...
straight up.
There's a couple... there's also...
No ice?
No,
whiskey
baby.
neat?
Why water it down?
Warm?
That's how he likes it.
It's rough.
Wise man once told me that your body has to work harder to heat up that liquid, so it's better for you to just drink room temperature liquids.
So you don't burn any calories?
Yeah.
Don't know if that's true of liquor.
Matt, and indeed it was Matt Hall that told me that.
It's easier to metabolize and to drink room temperature water than it is ice water.
I love ice water.
I fucking love ice water,
I
yeah.
love cold water.
But you don't get, well, and it's arguable that you still get the cooling sensation of liquid, regardless of if it's cold or not, aside from the actual sensation of it in your mouth, the cooling benefits that it gives your body. No, that's what we came here to talk about.
But you had a whiskey neat?
I did have a whiskey neat, NEET. He feels a little like, there's a couple sequences in this part that I kept like walking past them, like we've talked about before, and then it shows that there's an icon, and I'm like, ah, fuck it. I try to turn around, and then I can't quite find it, and I talked to Lauren again on accident.
That's what I was kind of getting to, where
It's
it's
an
like
awkward space.
with the woman dancing there, it seemed like she was the one I was supposed to talk to. Because as I walked by her, it flashed up like Kramer, you know what I mean? Or like girl, you know, so I was like, oh, so I tried to turn, and it would just turn into me like doing this against the side of the fucking ottoman that she was dancing on for like a good 30 seconds until I triggered it because I was just bashing A until it came up. And then his full body just went around to the other side of the ottoman, and he started talking to the people sitting there, and I was like, oh, okay.
When I
went through everything, and it seemed like I couldn't do anything until after I took a drink. It seemed like some more options were open to me. Did that happen for you guys?
No, immediately I walked in.
drink.
I walked in, I go, hey, I'm looking for Gordy Kramer.
That's
the guy
actually
looks
them,
at me, and he just dances away. He just completely ignored me.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that
And
guy.
then and then I go over to another guy.
The guy in the white suit?
I think so. He's completely blasted.
Yeah. I love this guy.
Hi! Great party, huh? Hi! Well, let's get better acquainted, pal. Oh, you're my kind of guy. I like you. My friend. Maybe this job does have its perks. Now I got me a new friend.
Yes, you are my kind of guy.
Kind of dances away.
You got your arms around each other for a moment, like like this, and then he just.
This made me howl with laughter. I thought that was
I didn't
so
talk
funny.
to any of the guys. I only talked to women for whatever reason.
Were you able to progress without talking to that guy?
Yeah.
Interesting,
I only talked
okay.
to women because you talked to one. I talked to one woman.
Oh, wow. Only
and I was
talked
like,
to women,
where's
Jordan
Gordon?
Hill.
Well, because I thought I could talk to the woman at the thing, and it was like, no.
There
I
is
was
the
like,
woman.
whatever.
You go, where's Gordy Kramer? And she's like,
He doesn't usually hang out around here very often. He'd come down. He came down here earlier, but he's probably upstairs.
Where
and
was
you were
she?
Like, well, why
I
does
didn't
she
find
even
her.
have
right
this?
next to the stairwell.
Oh.
She was sitting on a thing.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah. I'm
Oh, next to the security guards?
Tonight.
And then
Yeah,
there was
I
like
didn't
a
talk
group
to
of
her.
people you could talk to next to the dancing woman who said like the exact same thing. And
think
you
I
go
talked to
like,
any
well,
of
why
those
does he
guys.
even have these parties? Maybe it's because you had the drink.
Do you guys think that Scott Shelby felt like a fish out of water here?
Yeah.
Or I couldn't tell because it also seems like it's one of those parties where all those people, if they saw like a fucked up, like clearly like police officer guy, they'd probably just think it was normal.
I think that he was a fish out of water. I guess I don't think that he felt like one. He seems like a guy who's not uncomfortable very often. Like, you know what I mean? He
I
just
don't
seems
think
like...
he could be in his line of work for that long and not have been in a ton of different social
Because
situations.
One of his thoughts,
there's
did you
other
guys get
moments,
the-
like he's hitting golf balls later in a stressful scenario, and he's
And
like,
he's
he's
cool
getting
as a
better at
cucumber.
it as he's going, you know what I mean?
Cool as
Because
a
he
cucumber.
seems
not
like...
in my playthrough.
But there was one of his thoughts that he was like, pretty girl. He's like, stay focused on the job, Scotty.
Yeah, he does. He did that for me too. It's like, I'm gonna risk it all.
I laughed that hard. I was like, that's hilarious.
There's a great interaction where when you're over by the bar area, a guy goes, "Hey, can you help me out?" And
Oh,
Shelby
yeah.
goes, "What do you think I look like, a drug dealer? Get out of here!"
There was an option too. I noticed too. There was like I didn't click on it, but it looked like there was an option that said "bust" as you like walked by some people that were like laying, Like, that looked like they were all
really?
fucking
I
drugged
did
out.
press
Yeah.
that, yeah.
You did?
I
I did
Oh,
not.
didn't because
I
it
didn't see
was
that.
because it was as I walked up to finally
He
interact
starts busting on him.
with the bodyguards. Because
Okay.
finally I was like, I should try to. They all say he's upstairs. I should try to talk to bodyguards.
Right. The other thing I want to mention is when he's trying to speak loudly, because basically it's a loud party.
Yeah.
He even mentions like, music's really loud.
Playing this damn
And Lauren
music.
doesn't like it. She's like, this place gives me the creeps. We gotta get out
Yeah,
of
and
here
she's
soon."
constantly like, we need to go. I'm like, why the fuck did you want to come here?
Yeah,
yeah.
like immediately not being a team player. Where
I
it's
know.
like, hey, how about you get a drink, sit down, like you're at this like lavish party that
Yeah.
your ass will probably never be in another spot like this again unless you're working.
Yeah.
Why
Which is
don't
probably
you
why
just,
she didn't like it,
why
because
don't
she'd
you
only
just
been
chill
there
out?
for work
You know?
before.
He did.
Yeah.
He did say that to her.
Just sit
And
down.
so he's when you're like, hey, I'm trying to talk loud. I'm not yelling, but I'm trying to talk loudly.
Yeah.
His face is when he's like, I'm looking for Gordon Kramer.
It's similar to the face that
the big open mouth.
when I didn't
His
get
asthma
the when I
attack
didn't
face.
get the
Yeah.
inhaler right away, and I turned to the camera and he was just like,
Yeah.
Now you said you didn't see that in the Troy chapter.
I don't think so, no.
So keep an eye out throughout the rest of the game. He will continue to before he talks, and it's like it looks like he's doing a big yawn before he
that's
speaks.
what it looked like.
But
I think
it's,
this is a-
it's his like way of like I'm getting ready to say something big.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of like nuanced little like actor things that like that scene where he's at the desk. It's clear that he's like, he pulls out the metal and he looks like John Goodman, you know what I mean? Like he pull out the metal, he's like, he's like furrowing his brow, kind of like looking at it, and then he would like lean back and his eyebrows kind of go up, and he'd like, kind of do those things. But I feel like they're limited a little bit on how much fidelity they had with those facial animations. So an unfortunate outcome of that is these really weird, big open mouth things.
well, I think that because it was a new thing, I noticed, not to get off on a tangent, but I noticed similar things with very like certain actors in LA Noire.
Yeah.
Also, and I think they use similar face capture technology, and I think it was pretty new at the time, and so I think a lot of the actors were exaggerating facial features in an attempt because they didn't know how well it would translate, and
Yeah,
so
you'd rather
but
have too much data than
because
not
it
enough.
was very good. You know what I mean? Like as far as like picking up on the intricacies of what you're doing.
Yeah.
That like in LA Noire sometimes it's like they're like you're supposed to look like you're lying. You know what I mean? It's clearly the direction. Like look like you should be suspicious, and the guy's like, yeah, no, I wasn't there, and then it cuts and he's like.
Yeah, he's just like looking around, like breathing weird.
And you're like, doubt.
You're like,
I haven't played that yet. We should play that for the show maybe.
I think it'd be a
fun
good.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
I haven't played it either.
I own it. It's been on my list.
It's
forever.
it's long. It's a very long game.
I've
I've seen
told
those.
it's very good.
I've seen
It's
those
very good,
sequences
though.
where
I
people
played
are
through it a couple
clearly not. They're withholding something.
It's very funny.
Speaking of holding something, which is not what you said, but and is not relating to what I'm going to say at all.
That's those.
I sent you guys a screen cap of the table at this party and go, what are those like AirPod looking things?
Yeah.
There's like two like white.
Or candles.
Yeah, they're like it's like a little triangle with like an oval on top, and the oval has a hole in it. And
Yeah.
I posted on Twitter, and somebody was like, they're pull tabs. They're old style pull tabs from a soda can, where the old ones they would like peel off almost
Yeah.
like the entire thing. And
Yeah.
so the modern ones kind of the tab part just like punctures.
Well, the modern ones they're just rounded too. Also, they're like
right,
an
but
oval.
like the whole thing doesn't come off.
Yes, no.
You just puncture a hole in it.
Oh, okay.
Nothing comes off necessarily unless you yank it off.
Yeah.
And the reason I didn't think that that's what they were is because they're not the same color as the tops of the cans. They're
No,
like
they
almost
look-
pure white.
They
Yeah.
looked white. Yeah.
And they're not. I like the oval where the thing is like not identical in
look
each one.
like-
It's like it
No.
looks like weird. I thought they were like weird earrings or something. It
I
was
thought
so
earrings
strange.
or like a broken, like thinking on it more, maybe like a broken necklace pieces. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah,
were both, but
like why? Because
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
table, it's like beer can, Coke.
it doesn't
razor
make
blade.
any sense. They're because they're clearly also not like pills. You
Yeah.
know what I mean, or anything like that. That's I'm not like maybe it's some futuristic drug that they have in the cyberpunk world, but I'm like I know what most drugs look like.
No, but also, how many parties have you been where people are just pulling the tabs off the cans? Like,
Yeah,
that's very.
that's
It was like
never-
okay,
That is
a good
very
detail.
common. Yeah,
it's
and
a good detail.
You ever do the thing where you like hook it onto your finger? You can
Yeah.
fling it across the room.
I haven't, but I have seen it done.
I've taught you. I taught you how to do it in high school.
I don't remember. Did you guys ever have
Taught you a lot of things in high school.
He's taught me how to love.
I gotta bust a nut. Treated like a
One and
daughter.
the same. You guys ever have Bundaberg ginger ale?
Oh yeah, all the time.
I fucking love that shit, and it has that cool like.
But I'm into, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm into ginger ale. So
They come in like a medicine bottle looking kind of thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
as you looked at me, Matt admitted he doesn't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you liar! Really? I thought I had a
You
fellow.
just got fucking pranked, dude.
Thought I had a fellow. Thought I had real ginger ale fans next to me today. But anyway, it looks like Health Aid kombucha. Maybe I know you're familiar with. It looks like it's almost like a medicine bottle, but the top it has like a tab. I won't be able to explain it well enough, but you have to like
Thank God you are.
yank it and the whole tab comes off. It's not like the traditional twist top. The Health
Maybe
Aid.
Kind of
That's
like
what
the
they're
thing
all-
I just described.
Yeah, I was just asking if you guys ever had the Bundaberg.
Nope.
They're fucking
Never
good.
had a Bundaberg. I've met the Bilderbergs. So
I don't think you have.
no, I was at a conference. I was given a robe and well anyway. So
It's a lot of kids there.
Gordy is upstairs, and the upstairs is guarded by two big thugs, and they're like, "Sorry, bro, you're not getting up here, and if you don't shut up, I'm gonna fucking hurt you."
It doesn't seem
They are
like there's
very
a,
dumb.
It doesn't seem like there's a way for you to talk your way past them.
No,
No.
and I'm like, but I'm a PI. Doesn't that count for anything? It's like, yeah, especially no. Idiot.
Yeah, I didn't even
I
choose.
opened with that like an asshole.
Really? I didn't
Yeah,
choose
I'm a
that
private
option.
investigator. I'm here, and they're like, no.
I didn't want to blow my cover. And I did, yeah.
Yeah. How about we murder you and no one ever knows?
Yeah. So the way I handled this
Yes.
is
You
I
asked mommy for help.
yeah, I called up Scott Shelby's mom. And I said, please help me. But no, I wandered around for a while because I didn't really know what to do. But I found my buddy, the guy in the white tuxedo again. And I think we had another sequence where we were like drinking.
The
Like,
super
"Oh,"
drunk man.
the super drunk guy. And he's like, oh, my best friend is back. And I was like, yeah, it's me. And then I think I poured him I topped him off, which with a bottle that was just on the ground. And then Scott Shelby's like,
I believe
hey.
when you first do it, Shelby also just drinks like right from the bottle.
You go straight?
It's pre-COVID, man.
Yeah, man. This is the-
I just wouldn't do that at a party. Coke
No,
or
I
not.
wouldn't either. Yeah, no.
No,
I hear
absolutely.
you.
Especially
If you had your own bottle.
find it on the floor.
Must be one of those
different story, but-
those parties where everybody gets a little Hennessy. But
You're the only hen I see, Matt.
keep going.
So Scott Shelby leans in. He says, hey, you know what that guy over there was saying about you? And he goes, what? And he says, that guy. And then he like whispers something you can't hear. And he goes, what? And you pretty much like gaslight this guy to go fight this other dude that did not say anything about you. And they get into a little tussle. He's like, you said that about my mom. And the other guy doesn't speak, which is weird. He has no response, no voice lines. He just like kind of looks
He's
at him.
in shock.
Yeah, and like you only hear
stripping sack.
the drunk guy like trying to fight, and that lures the security guards away for you to just casually walk up the
Okay.
steps.
Is that what you did?
How the
That
fuck
is
did
not
you
what I
guys
did.
What did you do?
I
I
thought
did
that
something
was
very different.
I literally thought that was the only way to do it. So I'm
No,
very
so I had
surprised.
Almost never one way in this game.
He's,
up.
he makes a comment where he's like, "Oh, gotta find another way up there." So I kind of thought there might be like a way I could sneak around or something.
He starts climbing the outside of the
Yeah, like I thought I was like, "Oh, I'll go towards the pool." So I went to shoot
uses
for
eagle
towards
vision.
the pool, and I'm going through my thoughts and I go, "Oh, where's Lauren?" And then I see Lauren just sitting there on a couch, looking super fucking uncomfortable,
In the
like
main
just
room?
like this in the
big
main.
room?
And she's
Yeah.
back. She's in the main room. She's just like,
Yeah, she looks like,
I'm like, Lauren, no dice, man. Can't get up the stairs. And she's like, don't worry, I'll take care of this one. And she goes over to the two bodyguards and she starts being like,
oh, what,
"Oh,"
really?
and she's like dancing up on him. And I like, it seemed like she was gonna pull him away to go get like double teamed.
Yeah.
Like for
That's
a
what she
minute.
was trying to do, and the guys were like, they look at each other, like, no.
Yeah, but then she like kind of tries to get him, and then she walks away, and then she just suddenly is like, and like fucking hits the ground like she just OD'd, and just like
Okay,
collapses.
But here's the thing: she takes like 4 steps and then
Yeah.
collapses, and the guys, it's basically like the wall here is where I want to go, and Andrew's the security guard,
Hey.
and then you walk up to the camera. And I just need to like Scott Shelby just walks, I'm like
Basically-
this close. I'm like, I just walk right around.
If from over here I tried to get to this thing by scooting behind you guys.
Oh, what the
That
fuck?
was what it was like.
That's
I literally
narrow.
ran into them.
I
because
bumped them a little bit.
The controls are so awkward. I like went to go around them instead. I just walked directly into them, and then I like was like, oh no, they're gonna spot me. And I like turned to the left.
But
I gotta say-
he spec'd into stealth, so like he didn't get caught.
Yeah, the lower.
And he was also walking
Must
on
have been
carpet.
the wind.
His detection time was really high. Scott Shelby, like he's a fat guy, but his
He's also like 6'5".
but he's tremendous,
He's
and
huge.
he's like he clearly stands out from the other like NPC characters, but also he kind of reminds me of like his proportions are a little wonky. It almost looks like he's like Barney the dinosaur. Like he really stands out, and he has like this kind of like hokey.
He has a very John Goodman build.
Stiff, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Big belly, big body. So the thought of
he
him,
walks around a lot, so he's got like his legs aren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The regular
But
looking.
you're saying the thought of him stealthily moving past.
it's very preposterous. At
Yeah,
least,
and he's wearing a
so,
giant coat that's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it makes no sense that
No.
you were able
So,
to just walk right by.
At least
Not at
with when I had the two guys fight, the drunk guy, he goes right up to a guy that's like right next to the woman dancing on the table or whatever. That's far enough away.
Yeah, this was not. They were still in front of where you wanted to be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like it was basically it couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 feet.
just
away.
imagine
They're
like, his
kneeling
eyebrows are-
down,
like, his eyes are
looking at
bugging.
Lauren, like they were both just like.
What do we do? I don't know. What do we do?
They say, as I'm going up the stairs, they go, "Oh, another one's going to OD on the dance floor."
Oh,
It's
no.
like, oh
That's
god.
very
Okay,
grim.
but eventually you go up.
we get to the cream of the crop here.
So on my way into, I'm looking for Gordy Kramer's room. Basically, I stop and I sit on a couch in the hallway
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
Just 'cause?
epic.
just to see what would happen. And it's like, you're sneaking into this man's home, and like you have the option just to like
Sit.
just sit and hang out. I did. Took
Yeah.
it. Because sometimes it's just about, enjoying the experience.
I intended.
Gotta take it all in every now and then.
I intended on exploring, but the first room that I found was the correct room, and I didn't know that until I started talking to people. In which case, I was locked in.
So, Gordy, when you get to his room, he's watching a weird, like, foreign
French-
animated cartoon.
looks like
where
French.
It's watching a
there's-
children's show. Yeah.
Yeah, with like a
I don't
chicken.
think it's a children's show.
No.
Definitely not. I don't know how much you
No.
watched it. It's
No, not
it's
that
a bunch
fun.
of like chefs, and they chop the head off a chicken, and the chicken is running around with its head cut off, and it's bleeding.
Oh, I
Okay.
didn't.
And
I
it's
didn't
a
catch
very
that part.
violent little
I think I
cartoon.
only saw like images of the chef and then like the chicken at different
I
moments.
missed the part where the head is gone. I
think
think
I
I saw
did
like the
too,
chicken.
yeah.
It looked like a chicken run style.
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
thing.
sort of, but more violent. So basically, he's trying to question Gordy. Gordy's like, oh, and you go, well, I want to talk about the origami killer. And he says, like, get the fuck out of here. There's two girls on the couch next
just
to him
macking.
making out.
They're just going for. I was getting rock
And so
hard.
he's watching cartoons while two girls are making out. He tells them to leave, and he's like, all right, let's talk about it. And he says to him, he's trying to ask him, he's like, what happened to that kid? Everybody saw that, there was a witness that saw the kid get into your limo, and then he disappeared. And he gives some dodgy answer. And I just wrote down, Shelby says,
You're giving me the crap now.
Did he say that?
Well, yeah, because you can. There's like two options you can choose, which is like one's
no
like
one says that.
no, but one's like aggressive, and then one is the one I picked the same one you did, which is like
What,
doubt, kind of. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like be suspicious of it, and he's
was
like
sarcastic, I think
he's
is what
like,
it
well,
said.
yeah, pretty much. He's like, well, I think you're giving me the crap. Because
Yeah.
he like goes through the scene, and goes, well, it doesn't really make some things aren't really adding
Yeah,
up.
because
so
you're
good."
not because basically it's like, oh, I just wanted to play with the kid.
I don't
He was
remember
like,
him
he needed
saying
help,
that.
and so I helped him, and then
I feel like I chose the same things, but I don't remember him saying, "You're giving me the crap."
This guy's Gordy's voice.
he told me. He said,
changes like from line to line, like drastically. His delivery is like
All
"Oh,
over
Gordy? Oh, yeah. Wow."
It seems like they did it in like 2 sessions, and
Over-
it was like
over 2 different
I can't
years.
remember how I did the voice. And they're like, doesn't matter.
just do your best.
Just
It's you. You're you're the character, so you're gonna do it right.
Beat it. You hear me? Get the hell out of here.
Is that good enough for you?
how did I say origami last time?
And this is so that's what I want to bring up. I want to do. He says, "All right, I admit I'm the origami killer."
As if he's a fucking pirate. So like,
He
yeah.
says origami.
I'm the origami killer. I'm the origami killer.
Did you guys all
Origami.
hear it?
I did. I put it in the. Yeah.
You guys had admittedly put it in the chat before I got to that point, but when I didn't know when it was coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just knew it was, and when I heard it, I was like, "There it is. There's the
So,
origami."
You want to do another take? No.
nah.
what part did I say wrong?
I'm
You
going
said
for a
origami
pirate
weird.
take.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
So if,
Hard.
Matt,
Lord.
if you can indulge me,
Lord,
Matt, right here, we're gonna create a little graphic, and this is the several different ways that they have pronounced the word origami in
you
Heavy
gonna create
Rain.
the graphic?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
So right up here, we have the word origami, and then it's underlined. And so far, we have it regularly, origami. We also have origami with like AMMY, and now finally we have origami with an R. So
Waiting for the origami.
you guys, we're getting there. You've, everyone playing at home, make sure to check that down in your boxes because there's going to be a special quiz at the end of this episode.
Bingo. Origami bingo
I don't know if this is how it
card.
went for you, but he admitted, he's like, all right, fine, you got me. I am the origami killer.
He
He says,
I think he was giving you the shit, Matt, or the crap. Excuse me.
But he says, I drown the bodies and then I place them on a wasteland with an orchid.
He says the wasteland again. Yes.
But he also talks about the orchid.
He talks about
does.
the orchid on the chest. He talks about the. Which,
But that is
he
public
those are all
news.
public knowledge.
Yeah,
Is it?
I believe the orchid is public knowledge.
I think so.
How?
From news reports and the press conference. Did
you guys see the news report?
You saw the
You
press
missed the press
conference.
conference.
You saw the press
They
conference.
didn't say,
they didn't
like-
mention it.
The entire modus operandi of the killer.
Yeah.
They didn't. He knows very.
I think
specific
this guy's the
details
origami killer.
about everything. I watched the whole press conference. They were like, "Oh yes, we're working on that. Yes, we're taking it seriously," but they never said the killer specifically does this to all of his victims.
Well, I mean, you'd think they know he's the origami killer, so they know he leaves a piece of origami on all of his victims. So maybe they also. It seemed. All the stuff he said seemed.
Maybe it's plausible. There's been like 7 victims or something.
Yeah, and like all the stuff he said seemed like it could just be public knowledge because he wasn't like, I drown them under a sewer grate and wait until the rainfall reaches 6 inches.
He didn't
6
mention
inches
the
is about how much it
trials.
takes to drown. You know what I mean?
Right, but then
because that part they don't know, and the
but
cops just
also-
figured that out.
Like, he's got a kid in his car.
I
And
know.
he doesn't deny that at all. He's
No.
it's like, so you have a weird story about like.
Oh, I think he's the
Is
origami
he,
killer.
Is he, or is he just
Much like-
Chomo?
we can say it now.
We can't open the show with that, but yeah. I feel like he's not. I feel like.
we could say it any time. It's
I know.
about calling our viewers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can't refer to an actual individual.
Sup Chomos isn't the
Yeah.
right intro.
I don't think he is because I think it's too easy. I think this game's clever enough. I think I don't think it'd be satisfying for him to
Have you
say,
ever seen-
"I'm him,"
have you seen
and then
Seven?
is that the movie where they can like shoot guns?
that's
and, like,
what's in the
curve
box.
bullets?
That's
Oh,
Wanted.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
Nope.
Oh, it's incredible. It's just an amazing detective thriller about
the
catching
tickets-
a serial killer. It's very similar to Heavy Rain in a lot of ways.
Did the tickets pay for the whole seat, but you only need the edge?
Yes.
I'd say.
Anyway,
I was like, I have to really.
Tickets pay for the whole seat, but you only need the edge. Because you're on the edge of your seat.
right. I don't think you said whole seat. I think you said, do the tickets pay for the whole, but you only need the edge?
Did the tickets pay for the butthole,
But you only need to edge.
but you're edging?
Maybe you said it. I didn't hear seat the first time.
I
so
could have. I guess we'll have to check the.
I was like, are you making a very weird sex joke?
Did the tickets pay for the whole seat, but you only need the edge? We gotta. We'll check the footy, as
No,
Jordan says.
but
I like
in
that.
7, the killer, like the detectives interact with the killer a couple times before they know it's him.
Interesting.
And it's
okay.
like it wouldn't be. It wouldn't, it could. I'm just saying.
Well, Matt's beaten the game twice now, so he knows a lot. He knows a lot that we.
Right, but I'm
Coughing
putting
Jordan
myself in
and
the
I.
mindset of I only have this much evidence.
And he's
So
trying to
I
say is
think-
that like with the information we have, it really isn't clear whether or not he could or not be, but it's more than reasonable he could be based on tropes.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
I guess I mean to say it's completely plausible.
I think it's more
and
pla-
there's precedence for it.
I think it's more plausible than Ethan being the killer. I think that's a red herring, and I think, but I don't know if it'd be satisfying because he did admit to it weekly, which seemed like he was just trying to taunt. But as we see in a later scene, which we haven't gotten to yet, he's clearly a sketchy character,
Right,
corroborated
so he does
by.
admit to it, but then he's like, "Sick 'em, boys." I
Yeah.
didn't even see the guards.
I didn't see
Yeah,
it coming either.
I saw
Well,
him.
admittedly, you're not really. The angle's very like.
It's close.
It's like
close
this.
shots.
Like you're looking down at him. You know what I mean? And then you,
Right.
at the point when they come in, you've turned around and he's standing in front of the TV.
I'm wearing black socks. I never do. There's so much sluggo fur on these. It's insane.
Mine are clean so far, but
so-
we'll get
You
there.
don't live here.
That's right.
I've been wearing these socks for a day. So
I don't know how you do that
Wear socks.
for the same pair for a full.
well, I don't leave them on all day.
Oh, okay.
I'll
I'll do that. I'll like wear some, take them off, and then
maybe
put 'em
like
back
2 or
on.
3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah,
to take
that's
'em off.
okay. That's fine.
Also, they're antimicrobial.
There you
Keep them
go.
clean.
I got my ass
tough.
handed to me by
Really?
these. Yeah.
Did you?
I don't know if I'm
I
like.
fucked this up, and I just got they were going to kill me basically, but they dragged me out. But they had a gun. At me.
Really?
I thought this was. You warned us last time that like there's going to be moments, and they're coming up soon, where you can just die.
Yeah.
And then the character is dead permanently. You know what I mean? For the rest of the game. Permadeath. Yes. And so I was worried that this might be one of those moments where if I fuck this up, Scott Shelley's going to take a slug to the dome. You know what I mean? And I was like, I missed one of them because I got fucking punched in the head real hard. But other than that, I was schooling these dudes.
I don't know if I
made these guys look like fucking children. It looked like I was fighting two 10-year-olds.
babies.
I was fucking like throwing them around with my massive body.
Maybe
So how did it end?
So I don't know if I found my gaming calling in life, but I've just been nailing these fight scenes somehow. I don't know why. I haven't played a lot of games with QTEs.
Except for
but
Asura's Wrath.
This session I just fucked
yeah.
up. Like this whole episode.
You almost died in the meat locker, and then
Yeah. I got a really rocky start in this game. Like I fucked up the hill, and I thought this was going to be really hard, but man, I stomped him just like you did. I kicked these guys' ass.
You beat the shit out of him. You take one of them and you throw him over the couch, and he goes through the coffee table, and he's done.
He's gone.
Like he's gone. And then the other guy, you end up like I think you just beat the shit out of him.
It was so action packed. I did it last.
I understand you guys beat them up.
Oh, you just fucking leave.
So you have like your fists, and you.
What about Gordy? You kick his ass too?
No,
He just like
he's just
cowers?
standing. He's just standing there, and he's like.
I almost
and
feel
you're
like.
You're awesome.
And you just kind of turn around and leave.
Well, no, he says something. I feel like.
What
does he say?
Bye bye.
I feel like this was a sequence that they almost like didn't expect.
Bye.
I'll see you when I kill again.
They sound like Teletubbies. I feel like this is a sequence that they almost didn't think most people would get, because the way he responds is, he's kind of like staring at you, and he says something like very tough guy-ish, and Scott just kind of looks at him. I can't remember.
Suffer like G.
I'm pretty sure they have some sort of. He tells you to get out.
Let me check my notes.
Okay.
See if he has. But
He's
like
probably
Scott,
talking about the
Scott
hit movie.
has
by Jordan Peele.
Scott does say something as well, where he's like, you can't escape the law forever or whatever. And he's like, get out of here. You just destroyed my men.
Yeah. He just tells you to leave again, basically.
Well, we leave. Assumedly, Lauren leaves with Shelby. He doesn't leave her at the party.
I'd hope
rude.
so.
It'd be very rude. But chapter 21, the butterfly effect. The Mothman prophecy.
Ashton Kutcher. He comes in. He says, dude, who's the origami killer?
Dude, where's my son?
He takes over the role of Ethan.
Have we mentioned how much, and this is not going to mean anything to anyone, but maybe I can find a picture of him and dox him. A picture of him standing in front of his mailbox with the address. Doesn't Ethan look just like Ty?
He looks like Ty.
Very similar. Yeah, very similar.
I was at SIP the other day, and Ty has basically got his scruff to the same exact level as Ethan's right now, and I was like, and he's a little older than when I first met him, several years back. He's been living. He's, looks. I was like, oh man.
There's a lot of similarities.
When we do our Mega 64 Heavy Rain style,
Ty has to play.
He's got to play.
That's the Ethan. Ethan.
Him or we can get a hold of his dad. His dad also looks the same.
So,
I've never met him.
And his dad's obviously older, so looks even more like Ethan.
Sometimes parents are older than the kids.
Ethan's 34 years old in this.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
He's got young parents.
Ethan arrives at the old power plant, and
you better believe it.
And he's like, I gotta figure out what to do. I don't know how to get in here. And like, I'm saying this to myself as I'm like, oh, I see a big butterfly graffiti. I bet I follow that. You get past the barrier, either by going through the whole.
I'll crump with you, sweetie pie.
I hate when you say the Marge voice.
I'm Marge Simpson.
That's the worst one you've ever done.
I think it gets better every day.
I think that's the worst.
Ethan, we gotta save our son.
There's either a part where the wall is crumbled, you can climb over it, or there's a hole in a fence. But either way, you get over the first barrier, and then
Can we fucking?
And then you get to the barbed wire.
We gotta remake. We gotta do a Heavy Rain skit where it's the Simpson family.
We can't do that
Why?
because we don't. None of it. Can you? You can't.
I'll
actually-
animate.
hey,
I'll get Matt Groening on the phone and David X. Cohen.
If you can do that,
I'll do like I did for that one short where I'll just cut out PNGs of the characters and I'll move them around in Photoshop.
all right, we'll have a production meeting afterward. But when you do inevitably have to go through the barbed wire, and he pricks himself with the barbed wire, and you're like, oh no, this is serious. I could get cut by barbed wire.
Even
which
more.
is fucked up because like I already have 2 broken ribs and a nasty gash in my head.
Yeah,
But
and
you're
this
not, but,
was...
I think it sat on that as like foreshadowing. I assumed it was foreshadowing to be like
It
someone
wasn't
else's.
really.
I thought
it
maybe.
was.
I mean,
think
you know more than I do.
Matt does. He does.
But
He knows a
I
lot.
thought it was maybe like someone's gonna show up there later, trying to find you or whatever, and see the blood on the barbed wire.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
So that's what I thought. I thought
nothing. It
No.
never comes back up. You
Oh,
never
really?
deal with the barbed wire again.
I thought
So
that was what it was for.
That's upsetting because what I assumed this part was because it lingers on the blood dripping on the barbed wire. So I was like, okay, this has some significance. I thought
Yeah,
it
the
was.
significance is that hurt.
I thought it was going to. It was implying that like you're about to get fucked up in this next place. Like you're going to be hurt.
Oh, you are.
Well, yeah,
also,
you are.
It seems like at this point in the story, it's seeming like more and more like Ethan is not aware if he is the killer or not, and I think other people are starting to think that he might be. So his blood at that scene was somehow going to be used as evidence to make people think that he was.
Possibly, I see where you're coming from.
That's what I assumed.
So as you're getting closer to being inside of the building, there's when you get past the barbed wires, what do they call conductors?
Yeah,
Condensers?
They called them condensers. Is that
I
what
thought they call them condensers, but I was like, I don't know if that's.
Are they? Is that
I thought
what
they're
called?
transformers.
I would have called them transformers.
I don't know.
I don't know what that shit's called.
Yeah,
though.
But either way,
He's an architect, so I guess actually he would potentially.
he might know what those are called.
you might know what they're called over in Europe. Yeah. But
Journey across this
they're the
wasteland.
giant electrical things, and there are
Just
visible, just arcing.
They're just
Visible
arcing
arcs.
like a Tesla coil.
Okay. Yeah. So there, I guess I've never heard the term arcing, but there are visible bolts of electricity arcing.
That's what it's.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
I've never heard that before.
That is no like
I'm
that.
not- look, I know it's just like a Tesla coil. The only Tesla I care about is my stock in Tesla.
Cha-ching.
Fucking Elon Musk rules.
He doesn't. I don't think he owns it anymore.
I still love him. You don't own me. I still love Elon Musk.
Do you guys remember when he dressed up as Wario on Saturday Night Live?
It's the best. The funniest
It's the
shit. As a
funniest thing I've
gamer,
ever
I
seen
felt
in my life.
represented.
I really did.
And that I finally felt validated. And
You could
also,
tell he
I
did.
love that Wario farts. And so, basically,
They nerfed his
there
ass,
are
though.
giant, visible, big blue bolts of electricity going
Arcing.
all over the place. And he goes, electrical condensers. Judging by the sound of them, they're still active.
I
And
know.
it's like,
Yeah, I think so, Ethan. You're right.
hold on.
Wait, are you listening?
You listen for the,
Oh, shit. I think these are still active. It's like, just like the most brilliant light all over.
Like making the most ridiculous. Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right, Ethan.
He's an architect, so he's not.
He keeps his head down. So you go in. You finally go into the building. You found the,
Which if you
there's a series of butterflies guiding you. You didn't see them, but there's butterfly
I just saw the
graffiti
one on that
guiding
door.
you.
there's like 5. That's because you cut to the left there. If you go to the right and you follow them and you go over the thing and you come in, you see like 2 more.
And then on the door, there's a butterfly. It looks like it was like an origami butterfly made of money, like shoved into the door. You get into the room.
yes.
And this is what's really memorable: is there's
This was
a giant
fucking-
door in the wall. It's about
like-
mid,
like-
2 feet up. It's
It looks like
a door in the wall.
It looks
It's
like
not
a furnace
door.
wall.
It's
Like,
like
you've
a
ever been in a
hatch.
furnace room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
You have to unscrew it.
It goes ear, dong.
Open it up.
We're doing like one of those. We're doing one of those improv exercises where you're acting out a scene and I'm doing the little noises,
That's great.
sound effects.
Hey, we are improv comics.
We really are.
Whose gaming show is it anyway?
So
It's the people.
when you open up, you see there's a big fucking shaft.
it's like a
There is like
construction going on
literal
outside.
construction.
It's
Yeah.
like a
Like
half
down there.
circle.
I'm sorry.
Like this tunnel. It's like a
Yeah.
big tunnel that's like
Yeah,
shaped
it's
like
like
a
a-
half
uh-huh.
circle.
It's like
That I
it's like a
Boom, boom,
half circle tunnel, and right there's a little box of matches,
little boxy.
and you light one, and you look, and you're like, oh, that is big and scary.
It's like better get in.
Bunch of cobwebs
So,
in there. And
so you
Yeah.
grab the matches and you crawl in.
And then
Door closed behind you.
door slams behind you.
And you're like, when I first played this, I was like, did the killer just shut the door on me?
He must
it
have.
seems like it's just heavy because it pans out to the room and there's nobody. It doesn't show anybody in the room. but it's also like it could have been the killer.
That was
but
my
like,
first thought.
I thought he just swooped
like,
in.
but
Am I
it would have
alone
been
here?
it would have been difficult to like because like how would he have gotten in? Because it seems like there's only the one door into that room from the
That's
outside.
fair.
You know what I mean?
The game defies logic many times.
That's
though.
very true.
That's the only reason I thought
That's
it was plausible.
this,
Also,
this
he
next
unlocked
entire
it.
sequence is very frustrating to me as well.
Okay, well,
Because of the illogical.
So
the issue with the door though is I feel like you unlocked it, so it's not gonna it probably wouldn't auto lock. It didn't look like it was electronic.
No.
So like I feel like Ethan could have, especially now that he's like his feet are facing it, he could easily have like kicked it open. But obviously you need to continue.
It didn't make much sense because unless the thing you wound back was on a spring, so like when
Shot back?
Yeah.
it's
Could
like
be.
it's like I imagined that was moving, like a
bar.
It was
yeah,
probably
like on a deadbolt.
it's probably
Or
two
like
bars like this, and then go like this when you turn it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and then it
like
goes
a
back
if you
in.
don't,
A
if you don't
submarine
wind it
separator
back, you're not
door.
going to seal it shut.
Yeah.
Take
That's-
that, rewind it back.
But as you're going through,
Make your booty go.
somebody has filled this tunnel with shards of glass. It's just there's broken glass everywhere. Ethan's crawling on his hands and knees. People just don't care.
I wonder if you have the same beef that I do.
Can I tell you that my biggest fucking complaint is somebody who's crawled through some broken windows and like had to like be near glass.
Be
you know,
really
broken
quiet
glass.
so the people that
Sorry,
in the house
as
don't.
somebody who's had to crawl through broken windows and crawl through I've had to get past broken glass before. You know what I mean? Ethan is wearing a long sleeve shirt, a jacket, in fact. He doesn't need to crawl on the glass. Is the glass glued to the floor? Can he not just go like
Oh, I could have super brushed
and
it.
just like put his weight on one arm, brush it out of the way, put that down, brush the glass, put it down, brush the glass. You know what I mean?
I had
Like
not
maybe he would have
considered
gotten
that.
a couple little cuts, but it seems like he's got a fucking
not
thick
quite-
jacket
not
on.
quite canvas,
Like this
but it,
this
like-
is fabric, and that glass wouldn't just be slicing through this if I just slowly
if you're careful.
kind of brushed it off.
might get a little,
but instead he's like, I must drag my entire body
Body.
across this.
Yeah.
Slowly, so I don't cut myself.
But he still does.
He
Obviously.
still gets the fuck cut out of him.
Yeah.
I thought your beef was going to be, and I guess I don't know. So what you have to do is there's a couple spots where you can go either left or right, and to see which way you're supposed to go, Big Brain Ethan, he pulls out you light a match, and the direction that the flame kind of bends to is supposedly where the fresh air is coming from.
Right.
Does that make sense? I thought they would be blowing it away into the
Well,
opposite
because
direction.
he says which way I think he says which way the air is blowing, but what it's doing is the fresh air is sucking the flame.
Yeah, well, I
Does that
think what
make
he says
sense?
is it's in the direction of the fresh air. Because what it is, it's like it creates a vacuum.
I first interpreted it as there's a breeze blowing this way.
That's what I thought, so
that
I
if
went
the
the
flame
wrong-
is, if the flame's facing this way, I shouldn't go that way. I should go
go
this
left.
way, the direction that the
If
breeze
we-
is
go
coming
left?
from.
I did
Yeah.
too.
You both went
for
left?
the first two.
For the first time, and then I didn't want to go left, but the way the camera moves, and when you first do the first wrong turn, you're just all fucked. And,
It's just a
Yeah.
dead end.
and like he has to go like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, God damn it. And this is
He
not.
looks like with the Ninja Turtles before they evolved, basically.
I
A weird half anthropomorphized turtle,
Yeah.
like on all fours.
It's you very quickly see
Ooh.
them in like a cutscene of I think it's in the first
It's in the first movie.
Turtles movie. Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Uh-huh.
That
It's,
sounds
it's a
grotesque.
great. It is. It's kind of. It's
Wow.
it's a little unnerving, but they're supposed to be cute. They're all like, yeah. You
You're
know what I
like,
mean? They all
"Oh."
have that. Pizza, pizza.
Hot dog.
Hot dog.
They don't eat hot dogs.
That's right. Would
but-
they eat hot dog pizza?
I'm sure they would eat hot dog pizza. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they would eat
Loophole
they would
found.
eat broken glass and fecal matter pizza.
Yeah, they're fucking turtles.
This is a long tunnel. This is a long
They
turn.
smell.
This is a long
Except for them, they'll
sequence.
eat their babies too. You know what I mean?
Here's what I want to know. What is this fucking for? This,
I don't know.
This tunnel.
Also, how'd you get all the glass in there?
Right.
Are you crawling backwards through it with a bag, just like trying to? And then, like, what if you didn't bring enough glass? You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, I gotta, you know.
No, he went to Costco before this and got like a case of light bulbs and then just like stomped them.
That is like
He's
I don't
in there,
know.
like crab walking through it,
Yeah.
just stomping behind him.
Shit! Fuck! Ow! Damn it!
He could have pushed all the glass out of his fucking way. Is my
He
point.
could have. He really could
Right,
have.
right. But he didn't. So
This is very.
Sorry,
like,
you're right. He did not.
this is the same. This is very like because what must have happened is that he must have mapped it out and then traversed it while laying the glass out in such a way that, you know what I mean, he's constantly backing up with no glass behind him. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I don't
And that's
think. Yeah.
very clever, which is at the you guys both yawned.
It's a sympathetic response.
So basically, when you get through, finally,
Very boring.
you finally see the end. You drop down.
You're in the clear.
And you could have dropped down a little.
He
safer,
kind
but
of throws
He
himself.
throws himself down into a pile of more broken glass.
Yeah, and he goes, oh!
Yep.
I actually messed up the QTE to like get back up right here.
I did too.
Yeah, same. Because I just
And
like
he just like kind of like
it's
drops
one of those
back
things where I forget when it's like hold versus like you know what I mean. Just
I
like
do, yeah, 'cause
shake.
I
you know
think
what
it has
mean?
the triangle one. When it has a
Right.
triangle on the icon, you're supposed to hold it, and sometimes I forget.
And like so I went like oh fuck.
There's a hole in the wall with a slide
where the men can see it all.
and you have a little internal debate over whether or not you should go down. And basically, it's like, well, of course, I have to save my fucking self.
I had no internal debate. I didn't even look at my thoughts.
Really?
I know every time in like these moments, I just assumed at least it was just going to be like, I have to, I can't, I don't know, you got to go forward.
Jason,
you know, like those are all the options. You know what I mean?
It was pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
So
But
I
I
just
think
fucking-
since we're
and he goes down face first.
with Ethan and
That would be the dumbest thing he could do.
there's a sharp curve.
See, I messed up
Yeah.
the QTE, so when I was going down, I went down face first.
Somehow he tripped.
With Ethan in particular, especially with him potentially, even though I don't think he is, potentially being the killer, I do try to look at most of the his thoughts. Whereas if I'm Scott Shelby, between two segments, I don't really care about it.
I like to listen to his because he says funny stuff.
He does. You're right.
I've seen never seen a horn live this nice.
Yeah. I did like that going down this slide, it has you hold the buttons in a sequence, and then you have to let them go to let yourself go down the slide.
Yeah, it took me like a split second to realize I had to let go of them.
This is another thing, though, like, similarly to how he could have moved the glass away, I feel like if you're going down a slide, if you like really brace yourself, spread your arms out and like use your shoes to grip yourself, he could have guided his slide
I think
down.
the gravity was too much. I think he was at certain angles where it seemed like he was trying to do that, and he was just like,
All right, that's
Yeah.
fair.
that's the, I totally feel the same way, because it feels like he did try to brace himself at points.
Because I remember.
It seems like you didn't need to go down at full speed, is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
but it's
I don't
like,
think he meant to, but I think
No,
it
yeah.
was just at such an angle he didn't have a choice.
all right.
But when you get down there, there's a butterfly on the wall all the way across from you, and you're like, well, that's probably where I gotta go.
But then,
But there's a bunch of condensers. there. But then there's also, to your left, a white door that says coward.
Did you guys open the door?
I didn't. I thought it would kill me instantly.
I did open the door. I didn't leave because you open the door and it's like you can leave or stay. But I really took a fucking big risk on it.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
I was afraid if I
saw
opened it.
and I was like, I had the same thought where I was like, I'm gonna open the door and the killer's gonna be there and he's gonna shoot me in
Boom!
the face. You
He
know
says,
what I
"Fuck
mean?
her right in the pussy," and he blasts you.
And so I like open the door and it like opens it and he starts to have the internal monologue of he's like, I need to save my son. I can't do this anymore. You know what I mean? And you can say stay or leave, and I said stay.
Damn.
Okay.
And I closed the
wonder-
door and I fucking.
I guess if you go, you probably just leave.
Either that or it's like none of them make it back. None of the other fathers make it back from these trials. So, and I don't know if they die at the trial or if it's because they pussy out. You know
My
what I mean?
assumption is that they die during the trials.
Yes,
That's what I'm
'cause
thinking.
Because how did he? It's a miracle that he survived the first one.
Yeah.
I almost died this one. I thought it was gonna go.
This is probably one of the longest sequences where I kept having to remind
So you
myself
have to.
breathe.
These are like the
in real life.
I had done this once before because I played the game before, so this was easier the second time around.
Yeah.
But this is where there's some of the most complicated button combinations.
I wrote it down where it's
'Cause-
like you're engaging 5 fingers,
Yeah.
and then you have to like
Tap sometimes.
tap another button.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not
And it
every
was-
time, but sometimes. So
No,
basically,
yeah.
there's the condensers, and electricity is, I don't know, I guess you could say arcing through them. And
That's a good word for it.
so you pull open, there's like wires between them all,
Mm-hmm.
and so what you gotta do is examine. You switch your camera angle, you can look directly in front of you and see which one is
some of
not
them are more-
active entirely.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of spider web through them.
Yeah, like you can't touch them though, because I
Which
fucking.
reminds me of, I mentioned this in the actual video. I don't know if you guys ever watched the videos that we put out after I
Not usually.
spend my
no.
life editing them, but
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I put a lot of funny jokes in them that I think I'm glad you guys don't
I get
watch them
about-
because I do make fun of you both quite a bit.
I do not. I like that. I get usually about 20 minutes into this, and then I cannot hear myself talk anymore.
Yeah.
I don't
got
watch
over
the.
that.
I make an edit where you're muted out.
Okay, send it
So
to
I'll
me.
send it to you. No, but we didn't talk about the laser section in
Laser
Resident Evil 4,
beams.
where he goes, where
I
Leon
think we
has to
briefly-
jump. No,
We didn't at all?
Completely skipped it.
Fuck. It's in
I
my
don't-
notes
What
for
happens
sure.
in the laser?
You have to,
Oh,
He
we
does-
didn't talk about
he does
that.
like a crazy acrobatic
Yeah.
sequence through
Yeah.
a room full of lasers.
That's why they did that in the
I
Resident
thought
Evil
we had
movie.
said that. I can't remember.
Yeah,
we did.
so it's similar here where you have to do some much more low-key acrobatics through.
It's
Yeah.
more like me
electrical
trying to
wires.
like. It's like if
Yeah.
you saw me trying to like make my way through like, you know what I mean, a bunch of bungee cords.
There's a
or
lamp on a
something.
table
A bunch
that's
of
plugged
bungee
in.
It's a bunch of bungee cords, and I'm just trying to like reach
Oh.
in, and you're giving me
But,
$100
But you do
if
get
I
through
don't touch
eventually.
them.
But I got my ass shocked, and you can.
I got shocked.
Do you
too.
survive?
I don't believe there's a death risk on this chapter.
Okay.
But you can fail if you faint.
Yeah.
Fuck am I seeing? I'm sorry. I'm still seeing the electricity arcing in my vision. I didn't get hit. I assumed it was one hit deaths, so I just
I got hit
really
once,
got
and
careful.
I was terrified because then
What
everything
happens?
goes. It gets like spiky and red, like it's GoldenEye, and you know what I mean? Not GoldenEye, but you know
It
what I mean,
looks
like in those
you're
classic
like
games.
waiting for like you're an FPS, and like you're like, oh no, I gotta stop for 10 seconds so my health can recover. But your health never recovers.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And it makes the rest of it kind of more difficult because it's
Hard to
everything's
see.
just
Yeah.
in your field of view.
You
I did
basically
not-
have pain vision.
I did not fuck around. I was very.
I didn't
not.
either. I just fucked up.
I was fucking around. That was
The
where I
last-
went wrong.
the
I
last-
was like,
Are there multiple?
You're peeing on it, seeing if it would. Are
there
if I pee on it?
Ah, what have I done?
cola.
Go, 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 go. Are there multiple ways to go through?
It's electrifying.
I think so because I
No.
kind of because
Nope.
I kind of went like
I did left, right.
Well, you gotta
so-
go through. It's a little maze, but no, there's one path.
Okay, so the last one for you guys was the little like front flip.
Yeah.
And I got
He's like-
confused by that one because I was like,
that's risky.
Because it's
Why
one
am I-
where you hold it and then let go.
yeah.
and he
I
does
was like,
it.
I'm waiting for the next prompt. I was like, I guess I'll just let go, and then he didn't need to do that. It was so extra to do
It was
like
a little
his
extra
like
to do a little
little
flippy.
like cartwheel like roll thing.
Yeah.
Not cartwheel, but like
It's like a tuck.
he did like a tactical
Yeah.
roll.
Tactical somersault.
Yeah.
It's like the kind of move like you'd see in like an action game, like unnecessarily like you know. But you get the fucking card for your phone. You see another video of your boy drowning. You get more clues for your Hangman's puzzle.
He's
Then
really
you leave.
starting to get.
He's getting pretty low.
We're getting into Drown City here. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's up to
And-
his like neck in this video, I believe. Because
Yeah.
this is the second trial, right?
Yes.
Second to 5, so that boy is
Yeah.
going to be basically
5? Oh fuck.
There's 5 trials, yeah.
I think at one point though, and this was a spoiler, so cover your ears, but I think like you do play as Sean, and then like you find a little straw, and so you're like going like, I'm drowning, but no, I'm safe for now because I can breathe through a little straw.
I'm
And
safe
he's-
for 3 more inches.
You know, so like the tip of his nose and is hanging out, and then he's like breathing through the straw. And he's
He
like,
looks like a shark.
I'll be okay for a little while longer, Dad.
He finds like a reed, like it's a swamp.
Well, it's actually a bamboo flute that he was
Yes,
playing.
that's yeah.
Because there's a really emotional scene later where he's like, there's like the moonlights shining in, and he's like, "Doo, doo, 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 doo."
That's Danny Boy. Wow.
And it's like it's
Very
so
emotional.
good. And then he used, but it's funny because like you know in that
a long
moment
one.
his one like sort of
Long
like
moment.
what's
Really?
saving him mentally is being able to play his little flute. But then later it literally saves his life when he's able to use it to breathe through. Except
quite-
he has to cover all the holes.
He has to
gap.
hold on.
So and that's another thing where you're using all 10 of your fingers on the controller.
But he was never able to play that note before, and it was Ethan that was trying to teach him how to do it.
Right, and it's actually the brown note.
So he finally plays the brown
And
note.
that's how Sean escapes
And
from
the diarrhea,
his
the diarrhea floods.
spirals him.
the force of the
It
diarrhea.
gives him like
Blast
another
him
2
through
feet
the
of
gate.
height.
Wow.
Anyway, we'll talk about that more in depth
When we get to it.
No, anything else you want to say about all this? This chapters 17 through 22, 21? 21.
6 and teeth of
It was pretty good.
This is kind
I'm
of
very
like,
invested.
It feels like each grouping that we're kind of playing through it has like a little bit of a. They each kind of have like a rise and fall a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Where it's
the
like-
game has pacing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, I like it because it's not just like this game would suffer a lot if they kind of did it like a standard where the beginning kind of builds till the middle it peaks and then you know what I mean?
right.
But instead it has these constant peaks and valleys in the story because if it was just slow for the first like fucking 15 chapters, I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Right. The first the first prologue chapter where you're just like in your house is like I was bedridden when I played this game for the first time. And I would not fault anyone for going, this sucks. Like, it's like dress up simulator.
Yeah.
And
Whereas,
you're
like, but that's if it was that for the first like even 5 chapters,
Yeah,
I
like,
think it would
there's-
have lost a lot
He's like
more people.
Scott Shelby like wakes up in bed and it's like, oh, time to brush my teeth.
Look at
He's
my
like you've got to like wash his cock off from under his belly in the shower.
he's holding his
He's holding his belly up as he's getting underneath.
He goes, hey, a little more.
All right, let's end it. We'll be back with the next episode. We'll pick up on chapter 22.
You better believe it. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And be sure, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're sick of going, oh man, I don't got YouTube Premium, it's getting all chopped up by ads and shit. You can listen to us. You wouldn't know.
That's a good point.
Long videos get chopped up by ads.
Okay.
I do, like right here. That probably wasn't right there.
But-
But we're also available.
On all streaming services for podcasts and shit. So look for us. It's not that hard. There's a fucking link down there.
Yeah.
Dingus.
It's all the same branding.
You did for your health.
All the same. Look for the HM. That kind of looks like it's a Brazil flag or something. We gotta change those colors.
It looks like a checkered flag, like it's a race, like you finished a race a little
Yeah.
bit.
I'll change those colors. I love Brazil.
I love Brazil as well. Come to Brazil, everybody.
They
Don't
make
do
the
that.
best weird porn.
They really sure do.
If you want fart porn, there's nowhere else to go.
That's what South Park taught me. All right, goodbye.
I love
I think it
you.
was a German fart porn.
No, it was Brazilian fart
was
porn in South
Brazilian.
Park. If we both remember it being Brazilian,